All right, here we go. Here we go. It's our second live, y'all. Waiting for y'all to tap in. Maybe I'll scoot over a little bit. Yo, 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 what's going on? How y'all doing? Yo, Remy, what's happening with you? We at it again. Reaper Aquatics, what's up with you? Pooh Bear, hey, how you doing? Isaac, what's good, man? I'm doing good. How you doing? Been a long day. I decided to go ahead and do this live. Bob, what's happening? Yeah, we at it again, second day in a row. Chase, what's up? So, you know, chilling, that's what's up, man. So I just decided this one probably gonna be a quicker one than that 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. But I basically wanted to just tap in with y'all. I thought it was a real good question yesterday when y'all asked me, how I got started in a hobby. So I feel like we haven't had this discussion. I haven't had the chance to talk to y'all about that. So I want y'all to tell me. I want y'all to tell me, how did y'all get started in a hobby? Yeah, it's definitely nice out here too, Isaac. It's hot though. It's hot. I'm not gonna complain because I know some places it's probably snowing, but it's hot. Let's see the Dovi. Man, last night when I kept moving around my camera, it kept glitching. I showed them off last night. I'll definitely show a video, but I definitely don't want it glitching on us. How's the TFC crew, Ramey? Everybody doing good. Everybody doing good. Oh, you in Cali too? Yeah, yeah. Which one? You in North Cal or South Cal? Yeah, I'm in Sac, so it's hot as hell up here, man. To be honest with you, but like I said, don't really want to complain about that. But yeah, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. What's your tell me about how y'all got started in the hobby? I want to know. What got y'all started? I'm over here trying to make a way for this. Are you in Maryland? What's the weather like out there? Oh, you in North Cal as well? Oh, you in the Reading? Oh man, you close. You in Reading? Yeah, you close. For sure. My friend had a Jack Dempsey's and Red Devils and I wanted them, so he got me some babies. That was 35 years ago. You got started with the Jack Dempsey's and the Red Devils? That's cool. That's cool. That was a long time ago though too. I've been in a hobby for almost about that time. Maybe not 35 years, but a nice 30 piece. It's definitely one of the best hobbies out there, in my opinion. Let's see if I could. I'm gonna be so sad if this phone go inside this pond. I'm gonna make a way for it not to happen though. That's a fact. Y'all hear that crazy dog out there barking? Yeah, let me see. 2 years my friend had, so Chase says 2 years my friend had a fish tank. I had a job, bought one. Yeah, sometimes it start like that. But I'm glad you in the hobby, that's a fact. Like I say it all the time, I think keeping fish is kind of like a living art. Like I say, the tank is like your canvas, and everything you decide to put in there is like your paints. You paint your picture any way that you want, and then you get to see it grow and just move around. It's like living art. Gazamer, yeah, you finally caught me, bro. 80s today, Ramey? Yeah, it's like 90s today. It's like 97 here. But yeah, you got that perfect weather where you are. Isaac says, my friend has hella tanks and he was talking about how he used to watch fish, shrimp videos in the background because they were peaceful. Now he has like 650 gallons he takes care of, fresh and salt. MTS, MTS, multiple tank syndrome. I started off with the two when I got back in the hobby. Started off with the two. I don't have like a ridiculous amount of tanks. I just have big tanks because I like to keep big fish. So between all the predators that I keep, I just try to make sure I keep them right. That's why I have so many tanks. And it is a bunch of fish that I do like to keep. I can't keep all the fish I want, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have any. As a matter of fact, my house would be a tank if I kept all the fish that I actually wanted to keep. So I kind of got to be selective. You know, some fish I do have to say no to, but for the most part, I try my best to keep as many fish as I can. And as you can see, I try to keep them all in community settings. Hence that 800-gallon pond that everybody started off saying that I wasn't going to be able to do because you can't keep a doveye with any other fish. You know, if y'all been around for a long time, or at least been around for over a year, you've seen that the whole time you've been around, you've seen my doveye in a community setting. So, and then I had some folks last night tell me that they also keep, you know, crazy, aggressive fish in community settings. So it's very important to do what you feel, try things out for yourself, and just enjoy and experience the hobby for yourself. You know, it's definitely good to learn and educate yourself, but you need to do things for yourself. You know, you don't always have to make the same mistakes, but you still should try to really just, you know, get a feel for things on your own. Chase, you got 6 tanks? That's what's up. All of them fresh, saltwater, what you got? Everyone loves fish. Not everyone. I've experienced some people on TikTok that don't love fish. I've heard people say it's a total waste of time. You know, I can't say everybody loves fish. You know, some people they're in relationships with people that don't actually like fish and fish tanks. So not everybody, but most of us, I know everybody on this live right now enjoy fish and love fish. Let me see. Isaac says, nah, organizing the fish, coral structures in the tanks is an artwork. It's so sick. Yeah, I agree with you, Isaac. I agree with you. All right, Team Ramey, my boys, had the Jaguar cichlid and Buddy Carfry set up, and I was hooked. Yeah, the buddies are nice, man. I have a buddy, as you know, I have 2 Buddy Carfry. I got the Jag. I couldn't have a freshwater aquarium without those 2 fish. And then after that, you know, that's kind of like how it starts. You know, you get 1 tank, you get a selection of fish, and then you see another fish you want, and then you realize they can't go in a tank with that fish, so you end up getting a second tank. You do it all over again. Now you got 3 tanks, do it all over again. Now you got 12 tanks. That's how I usually start. At least that's in my experience. Let's see. Now you got Team Ramey say, now I got my teenage son into the hobby with African cichlids in 8 tanks. That's what's up. I know my son is going to be the same way. My oldest not really into fish like that. He's 21, and he's really not into fish like that. Matter of fact, none of my friends are into fish like that. So it's nice to be able to kind of talk to y'all about, you know, my insane passion of this fish hobby. Because, you know, in my personal circle, no one is into fish. I'm the only one. In my family, I'm really the only one. Nobody's into fish. My mom and my grandma was the last 2. Nobody else. So, you know, y'all my family. Y'all my fish family. So that's why we get to communicate. I love this. I kind of love this going live. I ain't going to lie to you. I kind of love this going live because we really get to engage and talk in the here and now. It's a lot better than having to see the comments and respond. And a lot of the times I might respond and I don't catch the comment because it don't give me a notification. So I don't go back to see that you responded to the text. So this is definitely a lot better. Gaza Gamer says, I alone have 5 in my basement right now, 240 breeders, 175, 120, and 145, and 120 gallon all African cichlids. Damn. All African cichlids, huh? You don't want to keep nothing else? Or just nothing else kind of jumps at you or what? African cichlids are nice. It's a lot of African cichlid tanks. There's definitely some other fish out there that's dope. What kind of African cichlids? You got peacocks, mbunas, trophius, haps. Probably got them all. You probably got them all. Are you going to do some bigger African cichlids like the Buddy Carfry? Like, what else is another big African cichlid? The Madagascar is an African cichlid. I believe he's African cichlid. He is African cichlid. So yeah, are you going to go with some bigger African cichlids or just like, you know, the peacocks and mbunas and haps and trophius? trophy is our nice African cichlids though. The bully say, where the turtle at? In the other fish room. Reaper Aquatic say, my 8-year-old son got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I'm so sorry to hear that, man. And one way to get through it is we started keeping fish. Now, 15 plus tanks later, in a pond, we love the hobby. Man, prayers to your son, man. I have family members that has diabetes. My nephew is older than me, and he has diabetes. He lost both of his legs. It's no joke. It's no joke. I know that's no joke. So, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that these tanks and these fish really help you get through it, and it gives you something to bond with your son over. And, yeah, man, it's real. It's definitely real. Life gets scary at times, man. It's a lot of natural causes of natural diseases out there, man, that cause a lot of pain in households. And, I lost my dad to cancer when I was 5. My mom passed away from a brain aneurysm. That's natural, you know what I'm saying? So it's, man, it gets real. They definitely get real. My grandma and my mom was both diagnosed with breast cancer, but they both overcame it. But yeah, it's definitely real out here. Chase All Fresh can't wait to start a saltwater tank. Chase, what size saltwater tank is gonna be your first one? What size tank? I always preach the 20-gallon just to get started, just to get that good feel for it. But I've seen people start off with like 125-gallon, 75-gallon. Man, salt is definitely the way to go. You gotta have both. Gotta have both. But plan it out. Make sure you know what kind of fish you want to keep. That's going to determine what size tank you need. Team Ramey asks, does Carter have a tank? No, well, he has 2 fish rooms. All these tanks are really his. They're mine. I'm just taking care of them, but they really his. I would throw a tank in his room, but he'll throw his whole toy box in that tank. He's not at the point to where he learns how to hands off. It's like he loves water, so he'll be in there playing. All of his toys would be all in there playing with the fish. The fish probably be on the floor. So not yet. Not yet. He's definitely going to have a tank though, for sure. I can't wait for him to go to like the pet store and be like, Dad, I want this fish. Can I have this fish? I can't wait. And y'all are going to find out. If he had a tank though, y'all would know for sure. Eddie Leo, much love, bro. You are the reason I got into the saltwater hobby. Man, I appreciate that. Thank you for telling me that. I'm glad that I was able to give you the strength and the confidence to get started, because when I got started in the saltwater hobby, I was nervous. I couldn't find any information on the things that I was asking. And it just took a lot for me to finally get started. Then when I finally got started, I was buying everything that everybody was recommending. I mean, I spent like $1,300 on a 20-gallon tank. That's why you will never hear me tell you to buy the things that I bought for that 20-gallon aquarium. That's why I always preach the 20-gallon aquarium, but I'm not going to tell you to buy the things that I bought. I went overkill. I bought every single thing that I heard someone say I needed to buy because I didn't know any better. So that's why when I made these videos, like if you look back at my how to get started with a saltwater aquarium, I make it so simple. I make it so simple that some people don't even believe that it's that simple, but it really is. And then as you get started, the thing is just get your feet in. As you get started, you learn along the way. You keep on educating yourself. You learn more and more and more. So, I just want y'all to get started. So I'm glad that you got started, Eddie. And thank you so much for acknowledging that. You started around the same time I set at the 37-gallon in an apartment. You got the same tank to get the saltwater filtration. Yeah, to get the same filtration. Yeah, that's good. Are you running, still hang on the back filters? Did you upgrade to a sump? Do you run corals? What kind of light did you buy? Just those kind of questions. I kind of want to know. Hong Kit. Family members have fancy tail goldfish with the ranchu types. Man, that's definitely a good way to start. I feel like the goldfish is one of the underrated fish of the hobby. You know, it's a lot. You know, we all started off probably with like a goldfish in a cup when we go to the carnival. You know, you win a little goldfish, you go home and you throw it inside of whatever size tank you got. But for you to start off with a fancy tail goldfish, you know, family or seeing the fancy tail goldfish from your family members, I definitely feel that. You know, I believe that some of us probably got started because they seen the Oranda goldfish. You know, Oranda goldfish are definitely beautiful goldfish, and I feel like some people would definitely want to start a cold water aquarium if they seen some of these beauties. Eddie Lil, you're the first person I saw on YouTube that actually said you can get a saltwater tank. Man, well, man, I'm I was right? I was right. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I basically spent a lot of time doing the studying, realized how much I actually needed for the saltwater aquarium. It was like, damn, you could get by with just this. People still don't believe you could get away with having a saltwater aquarium with a sponge filter. I get so much hate about that. I get so much hate over that. Meanwhile, you know, I wouldn't say you could do that for a long period of time because of the way the sponge clog up and things like that. But you could definitely get away with a sponge filter. Hear me, everybody. You could get away with having a saltwater aquarium with a sponge filter. Sponge filter. I know it's probably going to be people like, no, you can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Maybe 6 months. Maybe 6 months you could get away with that, but you could definitely get away with a sponge filter. You could, and with a hang on the back filter, you could go some years. Ask Eddie. Ask a lot of the people that actually has listened and got started in the saltwater hobby because of my how to get started in the saltwater hobby video. You know, I'm still running my 37 gallon off of a hang on the back filter. So if y'all are considering getting into the saltwater hobby, but y'all nervous, y'all keep on hearing everybody saying you need all these different things to get started in the saltwater hobby, hear me when I tell you this. You can 100% get started in the saltwater hobby with hang on the back filters. Just make sure that that filter is going to cycle your aquarium 3 times within 1 hour. At least 3 times. So if you have a 20 gallon, I would put like a 70 gallon, 110 gallon on that. You know what I'm saying? I would go overkill on that. Maybe not 110, but on my 20 gallon, I had a 70 and I had a 50. So if you add that up, that's about 120 gallons. It don't stay that good because after time, things start, you know, working less efficient as it did when you first bought it. So, you know, I had 120 gallons worth of filtration on a 20 gallon aquarium. I threw that on my 37 gallon aquarium. Didn't have to change anything. So you could definitely have hang on the back filters on your saltwater aquariums. You don't need a sump. Now, if you have like corals, it intensifies the kind of filtration you need. You might need a skimmer. Now you might need a sump, things like that. But if you're gonna have just fish, hang on the back filter, you can rock that out for some years. Bob Ross Matt says he just got him some Madagascar cichlids. Man, I love Madagascar cichlids. Man, I got one starry night. I've been trying to grow him out for some time now. He's probably like 5 inches. Probably like 5 inches. How big are yours? I've never even seen one that was like 8 inches yet. I would love to get that guy to 8 inches. Right now, my VA is chasing him around a little bit. Damn, Hong Kid, you from about 66 miles away from me, Frisco? Man, I'm in Frisco all the time. Always have work out there. That's what's up. Chase say I look too young to have a 21-year-old. Well, yeah, I appreciate that. I'm 40. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, I started out young. I started out at 19. So my oldest, he's 21. You know, Carter's, he about to be 4. November 4th. But yeah, started out young. I'm glad I still look young. They say black don't crack. So, but yeah, man, you know, yeah, I'm definitely getting up there. That's a fact. Sanchez Ryan, how are the birds? They doing good. I just made a video. I made 2 videos today. I made a video doing the update on the betta, and I did a video showing off the my guppy tank as well as the aviary and the new birds. So those 2 videos will be getting dropped in the next couple of days. I'll be busy. Meanwhile, I had to go to work earlier. I went all the way, what's that about? I went to Emeryville today, so that was probably like hour and 46 minutes out the way, one direction. So yeah, I'll be active. I definitely be trying to get to it. Team Remy, as long as the wife is down with the MTS, you're good to go. That's right. That's right. Yeah, she's with it. She's with the shenanigans. As you can see, she be going crazy on TFC with me. She does a lot better with me than this with the social media. I'll tell you that right now. So, you gotta follow her. Follow her. If y'all haven't followed Aida over there on TFC with me on TikTok or Facebook or even YouTube, you should. Especially on TikTok. She go crazy over there on TikTok. But I'm trying to get more into it. But I put so much time into my YouTube videos. I try to get something out every day, interact every day. On top of doing this work, it's just hard to get on all 3 platforms or sometimes all 4 platforms and put the same energy into it. I still got to make time for the family, so it's definitely not easy. It's a lot of work. I got my big coffee cup tonight as well. Not just African cichlids. So Gaza Gamer says not just African cichlids, peacocks, and haps. That's what's up. We all have our preference. I think as long as you in the hobby, that's all I want. I'm trying to recruit. This needs to be like a cult. I be trying to recruit as many people as possible to get into the fish hobby. If I go to a business establishment, barbershop, I'll be saying, y'all need a tank right over there. It's gonna probably bring in more customers. You know what I mean? I really believe that this is one of the best hobbies out here. It's so therapeutic, it's so rewarding, especially if you learn how to keep the fish or learn the kind of fish that you want to keep, and you just keep those kind of fish. I know the kind of fish that I keep definitely isn't for everybody. I keep predator fish. It's hard, it's stressful, but at the same time, it's what I'm passionate about. I don't be passionate about them fighting, but I be passionate about seeing these aggressive big fish with teeth and seeing them actually coexist together. I think that's such an amazing thing when you can finally find that balance. You know what I mean? Team Remy, peacocks and haps with plecos. Okay. You're getting into breeding now? Okay. Your breeding fish is cool, especially if you have something to do with them. My Dova and my Feste, they're not breeding no more. So I don't know what happened, but that last batch of fry, I think I have like 3 fry in there that they wasn't able to eat because I stopped pulling them out. I was just getting so many, so I stopped pulling them out. After they ate their fry twice, they stopped breeding. That was it. So I can't say I'm mad about it, but I'm also not happy about it, if you know what I mean. I'm just glad that I was able to keep as many fry as I kept. I still got fry in my 225 over there. I still got fry down there in my 40 gallon. And as you know, the 180 got a ton of fry in there. And I seen in the comments that somebody was thinking that the giant gourami was going to eat some of those fry. Not at all. I almost wish he would. Eat something. Still hasn't eaten anything. So he's definitely not about to eat those fish. But if he do eat one, at least I know he'll make it. I wouldn't mind him clipping one off. If you need to eat one of those fried, go for it. He could go for it for sure. And then we'll figure out what to do to get him eating long term. But he's not even thinking about that. I couldn't get him to eat tilapia, shrimp, silver sides. He's not touching those fish. He's not eating any of the pellets. He's not eating none of the sinking pellets. But yeah. So what else we got? Guys, a gamer says, I'm sorry to hear that. Have prayers go out to you and your son, fam. Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, he's talking about, bro, yeah, man. We definitely both sorry about that. Carl says, you got a good one, bro. My wife won't even allow me to be gone for more than 30 minutes. How do you do it? Um, that's crazy. I kind of I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot in the comments, but I was already doing this. You know what I mean? She believes in what I do, and I don't know. I guess I got lucky in a way, but I feel like that if she wasn't supportive as she is, then we probably wouldn't even be where we are right now. You know what I mean? It's important to have someone that's going to support whatever you're into. Like this is more than just a hobby for me. It's not really a business, but by me putting out these videos and putting in the time and things like that, it's more than just a hobby for me. You know what I mean? Like it's a way for me to connect with other people and things like that. So I don't know, man. Like my girl, she's dope though. She's really dope. So I don't even want to say it's luck. It's more like a blessing. I could have definitely have gotten somebody that was just, you know, that really wasn't trying to support what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I guess that's the best way of saying it. I could have definitely have been in a situation like that. I'm sure your wife isn't like that at all. But like you said, if you're gone for longer than 30 minutes, she's like, hey, babe, you got to come home. You got to take care of this. I involve my girl a lot. I let her pick out certain fish. I try to show her things, and she's definitely a sponge for information. So she loves to learn new things and things like that. So that being the case, she's learning everything along with me. And then the fact that we have Carter, and Carter's a boy, and he's loving what we do and love the fish and love the water and things like that. So she also wants to be more involved because she sees that not only her son loves it, but her man loves it. So I think that's really what it is. The Bully said we need a video with the OG turtle. Been a while. I showed off Miami today. I made a video today with Miami in the other fish room, so you'll see her today. Well, you won't see her today, but you'll see her when that video come out. So I did show her off in the video today. Reaper Aquatics, thanks, brother. Much love. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. So does my son, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. Your support definitely don't go unappreciated. Unseen, and if there's anything that we could ever do, as a community, just let us know. Shout it out. It's not much that we could do since it's the internet and things like that. But man, if there's ever anything that you need and that I could actually do, let me know. And B, what's up, bro? What's going on? So if y'all tapping in, please hit that like button. Don't just watch. Go ahead and hit that like button. If y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. The topic of the day is, how did you get started in the hobby? I really want to hear this from y'all. I really want to know. I've told my story. I could tell my story again. If you haven't heard my story of how I got into the hobby, I will start it off. I'll kick it off. But I really want to hear how y'all got started in this hobby. Salty Bulldog, glad you caught the live stream as well. Like I said, it's called the pop-up. I have no idea on when I'm going to make these videos, when I'm going to go live. But, I appreciate y'all for stopping through, tuning in. And we're going to keep doing this. Like, y'all make this so much fun and so comfortable. Last night when I got off, I was talking to Aida. I'm like, man, that was a lot of fun. I didn't even expect for it to go like that. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Like, man, I could do this. And y'all know, I've been running from live streams like the plague. I haven't been trying to do no lives with anybody. I feel bad for that. I've had some invites to some interviews, and I just wasn't comfortable. Especially with somebody else being in control of the feed that get put out. But I just wasn't comfortable, But after doing these couple of lives with y'all, like, I'm comfortable. Y'all really just, man, like, y'all definitely the TSC fam. Like, I really fuck with y'all. And excuse my language, but I really do fuck with y'all, because y'all could have been hitting me with shady messages. Y'all could have been, making it very uncomfortable. On the other hand, man, I feel like I'm sitting here talking to like a partner that I've known for years. You know what I mean? So I really want to tell you, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Because We're going to do this a lot. We're going to do this a lot. Let me know the topics y'all want to be talking about. I'm definitely going to come up with some myself, but we're going to do this a lot. Chase says, wanted to start a 55-gallon, just one clowns and sandfish. The red and green striped sandfish. I don't know the name. One of the red and white striped. Oh, yeah. I don't know what sandfish you're talking. Oh, I think you're talking about the Mandarin Dragonet. I think you're talking about the Mandarin Dragonet. If you're talking about that Mandarin, those are fish for very established saltwater aquariums. You need to have a healthy supply of copepods in your tank. I'm going to show you, Chase. I want to know if this is the one you're talking about. I had one. Are we talking about that right there? Is that what you're talking about, Chase? So that's called, if it is, that's called a Mandarin Dragonet. Those are beautiful saltwater fish. Absolutely stunning. But like I said, most time they starve to death because people will buy these fish and they don't have a healthy supply of copepods. That's their main source of food. And since they're so small, they are eating all through the day. So if you do get one, just make sure you get one later. You know, you're going to build up your copepods inside of your aquarium first, even maybe in like a separate refugium, and then get you a Mandarin. But yeah, 55 gallon would be nice, Chase. 55 gallon would be nice. Give you a lot of options. And when you say you want some clowns, get the exotic ones. I would not recommend rushing out and buying like the Ocellaris clowns, which are just like the basic clowns. Hold on. Get like the orange mochas. Get like the bullet hole clownfish. You know, look those up. Matter of fact, sorry, y'all. I got to help Chase out. But I definitely want to keep on catching these comments. But let me show you what the Mocha Storm clownfish look like. Absolutely stunning. All right, we're just going to go to that picture. There we go. All right. That is the orange Mocha Storm clownfish. Let me show you what the bullet hole clownfish look like. I hope it's clear. Those are the bullet hole clownfish. So they get nice. They get real nice. So and they're aggressive. Clownfish, believe it or not, they are aggressive. If someone told you they're not, they're lying to you. I got one clownfish that attacks my hand every time I'm cleaning the tank. It's part of the damsel family. Damsels are also very aggressive. So yeah, clownfish are aggressive. They're not just community fish. I mean, they are used and kept in community settings, but best believe they are aggressive. So if you get the Ocellaris first, it might prevent you from being able to get the nicer ones later on. So if you could have the patience, I know you have patience, get the ones that you want first. And then that way, if you can't get any more, it's totally fine because you have the ones that you want. Fish, I've never seen that. Oh, you sent it to me on Facebook. Okay. No, I thought you emailed that to me. So I didn't see it. So I would definitely check Facebook and take a look at that. Isaac, yeah, the fish YouTubers nowadays are really good for helping new people get into the hobby, and it's sick that you're a part of it. Yeah, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. You know, I started this channel because I wanted to help out. You know, I started watching Joey King of DIY, and you know, after watching him and learning from him, I'm like, man, I could do this. You know, and then I started realizing, hey, man, I got enough information to do this. You know, it's not just about having a fish tank. I'm over here watching these fish aggressive. So that flower horn I have in that 150, it's actually a female. I thought it was a male, but that's a female. She has her little tube that she lay eggs with, kind of like hanging out a little bit. But yeah, so it's not just about having aquariums and showing off, hey, I got these fish tanks. It's kind of like, I feel like this is giving back. You know what I mean? Us communicating, us learning from each other, us talking about things. It's like giving back. But for me, it's a lot more than that now. You know, now it's like a community. It's like a family. Like, you know, y'all definitely make me feel like part of the family. I hope I do the same thing for y'all. Craig Johnson say, I have a 300-gallon African cichlid tank, and I'm thinking about changing it to saltwater. Let me get all those African cichlids. If you change it, let me get all those African cichlids. But yeah, that'd be a big ass saltwater tank. This is only a 225, and this is a nice size. What are you gonna have in that tank? Are you gonna do community? Are you gonna do predators? What would you put inside of that 300-gallon? I gotta know that. And like I said, if you want to send those fish, send them on over. We're gonna throw them inside of one of these tanks. We're gonna make a video on it. Just don't take it to the pet store. Just don't take it to the pet store. Go ahead and send them my way. Send them Cleveland way. Pooh Bear said, I love goldfish and I keep them. Pooh Bear, so I was thinking about getting some Mirandas. I knew you kept goldfish. I knew it. But yeah, I was thinking about getting some Mirandas. I be seeing the nice Mirandas, you know, the ones with the black mohawks. They're white with a little bit of red. You know, me and Ida, we love those kind of goldfish. You know, they get big though. So that's why we trying to make sure we do it right, because I know they could get up to 8 inches, and we need to make sure that we have a specific tank for those fish. Eddie Lil, still running 2 hang on the back filters and running strong, bro. Your advice was really well given, and I was using net crew lights off the Amazon for a good while, but upgraded to Red C90 and still running real good. That's good, man. Like I said, and you've been running that 37-gallon with those hang on the back filter for some years now. So that I really see, I told y'all, I was giving out real advice. So Eddie has been running his 37-gallon aquarium after watching my videos for some years now, and he's running a 37-gallon with two hang on the back filters, and as he just said, he just went up to some Red C90 lights. So man, you don't have to have all the bells and whistles to get started in the saltwater hobby. You just got to get started. Just get started. See, 2 years. Eddie says he's been running for 2 years. Oh, with a lot of coral and fish. 2 hang on the back filters. So y'all see, I don't lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have to lie. I don't want to lie. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna help you at all if I lie and make something seem like something that it's not. I'd rather be honest with you and just take the blows. Be honest. I mean, I do it all the time. You know, I'd rather keep it real. It don't cost a dime to be real. You know what I mean? So I'd rather be honest. If something don't work, I'm gonna tell you it don't work. If something do work, and it's from my experience and I've seen it work, I'm gonna tell you it worked. It may not work for everybody, but I can only tell you what I've done from my experience. You know, I still got this 225-gallon with those 2 trash can sumps back there. I mean, that's overkill because I have the sump up under the tank, but man, you could run a lot of your saltwater aquariums the same way you would run a freshwater aquarium. A lot of people will tell you you can't. A lot of people will tell you that you cannot. But from experience, I'm telling you, you can. Hang on the back, sponge filter, DIY filter, something like whatever the case may be. As long as you have an understanding of fresh water, how important it is to change the water, have a good water change schedule. You know, once you understand the salinity level, how high you want your salinity in your tank, whether you want it 1.020, 1.025, whatever the case may be, it's up to you. I think between 1.021 and 1.025 is an excellent level of salinity. Some corals require 1.028. Just make sure that you get started. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get into the saltwater hobby. Don't allow somebody else to deter you or feel like that you have to have a water box. You have to have a Red Sea aquarium. All these are nice aquariums. They are. But you don't have to have that to get started. Just get started and then move up to that as you learn, because you're going to still learn. So just get started. Grab something else that you can handle and then just get started and keep going. That's it. Brandon Singleton, will you even get into SPS Coral Reef? I had corals, Brandon. I guess you were saying ever. Will I ever get into SPS Coral Reef? I used to have corals. I used to have corals. So when I moved here almost 2 years ago, I lost my whole 37 gallon, which had all my corals in the aquarium, had my gem tank, had my purple tank, had everything in there. My 225, I lost almost every single fish from there. The only two things that made it was my eels. You know, my Tessellate and my yellowhead eel. Those are the only two fish that survived when I moved here. I lost almost all my freshwater fish. I only had probably like 5 of those. My turtles made it, but everything else, like 95% of everything that I had just died because of the transport, because it took so long to get them out the trash can, because I didn't have aeration. Like it just, everything was so rushed when I had to move my fish from the house that I took such a blow. So this whole time, the reason why I keep buying so many fish is because I'm still trying to get back from then. You know, I had 9 tanks and I went down to 2 aquariums, well, 3 aquariums. One tank was my turtle tank, and then 1 saltwater tank and 1 freshwater tank. Everything else was done. Meanwhile, I had 9 tanks full of fish, exotic fish. You know, some of those fish I won't be able to see for a long time. Like it's gonna be a long time before I get a gem tank or any of that. But I do plan on getting corals again. The 37 gallon will be my coral tank. I do have a light for that tank, but you know, right now I got 2 eels in there. So the plan is definitely to start having corals again. I want to have corals, but it's going to be in that small aquarium. If y'all just tapping in, I appreciate you all for watching. Appreciate you all for catching it. Could y'all hit that like button for me one time? And if you're new here, if you like what you're hearing, if you like my vibe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me one time. I really appreciate it. Michael Gonzalez say, Chase Storm, I think you're talking about a threadfin, a carp, or a geophagus. Nah, man, he wants saltwater. He's talking about a saltwater fish, Michael. Team Raymond said, I peeped yours on your YouTube video today. Okay. Okay. Faye Latif, love your channel. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Mike, what's happening with you? What's good with you, bro? Man, hey, it's my second live, so check. We got Mike's Love Fishing. We got Mike's Loves Aquatics in the house. Loves Life and Aquatics in the house. Mike. So Mike is one of the people that's been asking me to do an interview. And I was kind of shying away from Mike. I wasn't comfortable with this live setting, but you know, Mike, this is my second live right here on YouTube. So we're going to get after it, bro. We're going to get after it, man. You know, we could either probably do it, we might be able to do it this Sunday, or we could do it the following Sunday. But we're going to get after it, Mike. I definitely appreciate you tapping in. You know, my lives are called the pop-up because you just never know when I pop up. But I definitely appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support. And everybody, man, check him out. Mike Loves Life and Aquatics, man. If y'all haven't followed this guy, get on over here. Get on over there. Give him a subscribe. Show that man some support. He's really in it for the hobby. Really, really passionate about what he does. He's turning his whole basement into a gallery. And, you know, all we do is show love over here, man. We don't hate on nobody. So go get that man some support. Go show him some love. Go show him some love. I'm over here. I'm so excited. I'm over here messing my words up. Go show him some love. Can start a 55-gallon tank, just sponge filters? No. So Keldrin, I would not start a 55-gallon. I wouldn't do a 55-gallon with sponge filters, not saltwater. I wouldn't do that. The thing about having a sponge filter on your saltwater aquarium is going to clog up. It's going to clog up. So being that it's going to clog up, and the reason why is because you have the salt content in the water. So it's not like fresh water. You know, fresh water just goes through there. It, like I said, it clogs up. It's hard to explain, but that's the best way of me explaining it. It clogs up a lot faster and a lot different than the fresh water. Fresh water is meant for the sponges. Salt water is really not meant for the sponges. You could get away with it, but I wouldn't do that on a 55 gallon. On a 55 gallon, if you are trying to go, I would do a sump. I would do a canister filter. Matter of fact, if you don't want to go sump, I would do a canister filter in the least. On a 55 gallon salt water, I would either use the FX, and what is it, like 705 or something like that? I don't really remember the numbers for all the different FX canister filters, but I would do a canister filter on that 55 gallon. Yeah, I would do an FX canister filter on that 55 gallon. If you feel like that you have to do hang on the back filters, then I would do 2 AquaClear 110s. But let me see what that Fluval canister filter is. I think it's only for a 70 gallon, so I probably wouldn't even do that one. I probably would do the FX4. I'll tell you right now. So the FX canister filter 407 is good for size filter is this thing good for? 175 gallons. So at a minimum, I'm going to show it to you. I just don't really like these, but at a minimum, I would do that right there. I would go with a Fluval 407 performance canister filter. It filters 175 gallons an hour, and basically your water is going to turn over at least 3 times. Whenever you set up your canister filters or your filters for your saltwater aquariums, just make sure that it at least turn over 3 times. That's my main thing. Any filter I have on my aquariums, aside from the sponge filter, obviously, because it's not turning over, but if you have an external filter, hang on a back filter, anything like that, I want my water to turn over 3 times an hour. Team Remy Plecos are nice too. I got a couple of them. Shamu Aquatics. Hello, my name is Brandon, and I'm a fishaholic. Right on, Brandon. Thank you for tapping in. I really appreciate it. Mike, you can't see me. I don't know. Is anybody else having that problem? I just say my BF will just sit there watching the tanks. He has all day. They be really therapeutic for him, and I'm happy he found a hobby. Yeah, it's definitely an amazing hobby. Faye Latif said, I'm a year into the hobby. I'm a year into the fish hobby, and I absolutely love it. I'm glad you found this hobby. This is one of the best ones out. This is definitely one of the best hobbies out there. Team Remy says we are breeding Sapphire, OBs, and Madoka white lop cichlids with plecos, albino, and lemon blue-eyed. Man, I don't even know what all of those are. I know what the OBs are. I don't know what the Star Sapphire is. And a lemon blue-eyed, I don't know what those are either. I definitely need to check those out. And Vish, what's up, bro? Shout out to Los Angeles. I definitely appreciate the support. If y'all haven't done so already, please hit the like button for me. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't answered the question yet, the question of the day is, how did you get started in the hobby? Mike, how you get started in the hobby, bruh? Like I told you, it's hot in here. Mike, I'm calling out to you. Mike loves Life's Aquatics. How'd you get started in the hobby, bro? I want to know. Chase, was I accurate? Was I accurate about that? Was I accurate about the Mandarin Dragonette, or you was talking about something else? Animal Instincts, what's going on with you? 808 Beast, man. What's up, brother? Man, my man with the 28,000 gallon, man. My man with the 28,000 gallon. Chili Willis, keep the videos coming. I have not did a freshwater tank in 30 years, so thanks for what you do. It is appreciated. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. How do you stay out the freshwater hobby, man? It's so good over here. Would you ever consider starting another fresh? And if you would, what size tank, what would you keep? You missed what story? Kobe, what story you missed? Okay, there we go. Okay, you missed the story of how I said I got in the hobby. How many people missed that story? I definitely don't mind telling it again. It's a good story, I guess. It's definitely something that is nostalgic for me. You got started for over 25 years, and the guy next door in the apartment complex got me into the hobby. He became my best friend. That's how it happens. You know, we all get started in the hobby different ways. If y'all missed my story of how I got started in the hobby, let's go ahead and go down memory lane. So my grandma was in the hobby, and she kept a 40-gallon tank. She had like guppies, albino corridors, with Cory cats, mollies, platies, things like that. You know, her tank was always green. You know, she was older. Now I realize it was because her tank was like right by the window and that sun kept her tank green, but the fish was always so healthy. So whenever I would go to my grandma's house, you'd always just catch me just staring in the tank like this. I'm just looking at the fish, you know. Then my mom was in the hobby. So she had an aquarium as well. She had probably maybe like a 75-gallon. And it was always hands off. It was always hands off. Like I'm 10 at this point. So I could never get involved with my mom's tanks or touch her tanks or do anything like that. So she bought me a 10-gallon. So she bought me this 10-gallon, and she took me to the pet store and I bought some fish. You know, I was keeping like platies, mollies, neon tetras, the cardinal neon tetras, the painted glass fish, small stuff. Meanwhile, my mom's was hands off. Like I was hands off her tank, my mom was hands off my tank. Not because I told her, but she would allow me to fail. You know what I mean? I wouldn't allow Carter to fail, but she allowed me to fail. I mean, I guess that's good because, it taught me at a young age how to do certain things like treat ick. So I was 10 years old treating my fish for ick. And the reason why my fish was getting ick was because when I would do my water changes, I would change it with cold water. I didn't know. I had no idea. You know what I mean? I just watered for water. So, I knew I had to condition the water, but I didn't know nothing about, the water chemistry, the temperature. I didn't know it had to be the same temperature. So I'm putting cold water in there, fish making it, but they're getting ick. So now I got to treat the fish for ick. Luckily, my mom was so nice that she bought me the medication. I mean, she did a lot in that regard. I'm going to buy you the medication. This is how you treat the fish. You treat the fish. You got them sick, you treat them. So that was mom's, right? I kind of was in the hobby for like 2 years, maybe a year, 2 years at this point. And then after my fish kept dying, that's a different story. They weren't dying because of maltreatment. They were dying because, some other shit. That's a whole different story. But so after like the last time, I said, all right, well, now I want some reptiles. So then I got into reptiles. I got into like the fence lizards, the blue belly lizards. Those are actually called fence lizards. I got a blue belly lizard. Then I got a big iguana. And then I got into the snakes. But when I was a kid, I had so many different pets at one time. I had the fish. I had the finches, the zebra finches. I had a rabbit. I had the iguana. I had the hamster. And that's it. I had all these pets, and I was taking care of them all by myself. No, my mom didn't help me. Nobody helped me. So, like I said, fast forward, I got out of the fish, and then I got back into the hobby in 2011. I went to the pet store just to look around. I knew I wanted a fish tank. Went to the pet store looking around. I look on the bottom row, I see this dove eye. This dove eye had to be about 16, 18 inches. Massive. This dove eye, I put my hand to the tank. Remind you, I'm not really knowing that fish even get like this. This is me, almost like a new me going into the aquarium and just looking at fish for the first time. Like, man, I'm hearing about cichlids. Didn't know what cichlids were. We're hearing about cichlids. And see this damn dove eye. I put my hand next to the tank. That thing trying to bite my finger. Teeth was like about this long. Had red tips on the teeth. The fish thrashing around the tank, knocking everything around. Me, 12 years ago, I'm like, oh shit, I want that fish. I want that one right there. I want that one. So I tell the guy, I said, what is that? He's like, that's a doveye. That's a Paracomus doveye. I'm like, I want that fish. I'm like, but I don't have a tank. He's like, what? I'm like, I don't have a tank. I'm going to get one. I'm going to go buy a tank. He was like, well, you got to set it up. You got to cycle it. I'm like, how long I got to cycle the aquarium for? He's like, 30 days. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go buy me a tank. Don't sell that fish. He was like, well, you got to put some money down on the fish if you want it. So it was $150 for this fish. It was clearly a donation now that I'm experienced. Somebody clearly donated this fish. $150. I dropped $50 on them. I go to a pet store, to a PetSmart. I buy the all-in-one kit, the 75-gallon. Matter of fact, the 75-gallon I bought was the tank that I threw on top of this aquarium right here when I had my turtles basking up there. So that's how old that tank is. So I buy the aquarium, I buy the stand. Excuse me, it's late, I'm tired. I buy the aquarium, and I start doing my research. I'm like, what the hell is a doveye? Like, what am I getting myself into? I want to know everything I can possibly know about doveye. So I'm reading on this fish, realizing that a fish that size, a doveye that size, 16, 18 inches, it needs an aquarium that's probably like 600 gallons. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm not ready for that. I bought a 75-gallon aquarium. I can't put that in this tank. It's not going to live. It's not going to be happy. It's going to probably die. So I'm like, all right, I buy a small albino Oscar. Start off with that. I go back to the pet store. I tell him, I was like, I'm not ready for that fish. He has a big 1,000-gallon fish tank. And at this point, he had like a black tip reef shark in there, or black tip shark in there. And then he converted it to freshwater. Well, not at the time. So previously, he had a black tip shark in there, and then he converted it to freshwater. So at this time, he had a whole bunch of community fish in there. He had a doveye in there. And the doveye was like 6 inches. He had a 6-inch doveye in there. In other tanks, he had the buddy coffereye. He had the green terror. He had red devils, a beautiful red devil. He had all these fish. So I'm like, how much is that one right there, that doveye, the one that was in 1,000-gallon? He's like, $50. I'm like, all right, I don't want that one no more. I want that one. So I buy the smaller doveye. Then I buy a green terror that was the same size. I buy a buddy coffereye that was the same size. And then I buy a red devil that's the same size. Throw them in the same tank. Boom. It works out. It works out for some time. And then eventually I buy another tank, a 115-gallon aquarium, and I separate the Oscar from the rest of the fish. And that's where I got the idea and the knowledge that you could keep a doveye, a red devil, and a buddy coffereye in the same aquarium. The green terror got beat up. I had to move him. But those three, you can always keep them three together. That's the only community fish that I've been able to find that works well with the doveye. You could throw them together. So in a nutshell, that's how I got started. Grandma to my mom to me, 10 years old, long story. But those of you that stuck around for the story, I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like button. Don't be afraid to hit the like button, y'all. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. What we got? Coral Aquatic Reef, what's up, man? What's going on with you? What else we got? It started, 808 Beast Playground. It started with a Tiger Oscar from Walmart at 5 years old in a 10-gallon tank, of course. I feel like we all started with a 10-gallon tank. As if we started off as kids. How many of y'all went to the carnival and came home with a goldfish in a cup? Ain't that the most trifling thing? That's the most trifling thing. Like, it's so irresponsible. It's so irresponsible to think that anybody could go to the carnival and win a fish, not knowing if they even got a tank at home. But we gonna send you off with this little life in a cup. Think that's just trifling. It seems cool. But it's trifling. Imagine you as a parent. You're not even in the fish. Your kid come home with a fish in a cup. Especially, and you don't even know nothing about fish. What you gonna do? Go to the pet store, buy the cheapest tank possible. What's that gonna be? A 10-gallon. Not knowing that goldfish get 8 inches plus, right? Now your kid's fish died. Now you gotta explain the explain life and death to your kid, and you wasn't even planning on doing that, all because you went to the carnival and won a fish in a cup. It's terrible. I hope that stops. I think that should stop. It was cool when I was a kid, and I didn't really look at it from the way I'm looking at it now. But being in the hobby, I've realized how negligent that is. Pooh Bear, I appreciate the like and the subscribe. Started as a kid, falling in love with goldfish. I kept in bowls though. Now I have a 60-gallon common goldfish tank. Just love how friendly they are. They are definitely friendly fish. Very personable. All of that. I would 100% agree with that. Did you ever win a goldfish at the carnival? Shamu Aquatics, I got started in the hobby when my fish keeper grandparents got me my own little 5-gallon. Once I started getting into larger tanks, they dumped all their fish in my tank and retired from the hobby. I love that story. Oh, I love that story. Yeah, I love that story, man. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I hope every time you think about that story, it makes you feel good, man. Like, that was such a genuine story. For me, that was such a genuine laugh. And I really connected with that because that's not something my grandma would do, because my grandma was like a hoarder. But to know that you had those kind of grandparents, like, that definitely, for somehow, some way, man, that makes me feel good. You know what I mean? I really want to thank you for sharing that story. And Vish, started when I was 10 with a 20-gallon goldfish. Now I have 3 fish tanks. Okay. At least you started with a 20-gallon. I remember when I was little, this is when I found out that goldfish got big. So at this time, I'm like 10, 11. I got my little tank with my little community fish. I go to my sister friend's house down the street. They had a big aquarium. I don't even know how big it was, but it was a long aquarium. Had to be at least 5 foot long. It was dirty. It was green all the time. At all times, it was green. But they had goldfish in there like this big. I mean, they were huge. And I was surprised that goldfish got that big. I thought that they had just monster goldfish. I didn't know that goldfish just get that big. And a lot of people don't know how big goldfish get. They really don't. They're still in denial. They still think you could put one goldfish in a 10-gallon and keep it there for life. MB Reef, I started saltwater 15 years ago with a back filter. See? And his name is MB Reef. So damn sure he knows what he's talking about. So he said he started with the hang on the back, and that's what I keep trying to push. Like, you don't have to have all the bells and whistles to get started. I just want people to get started. If you want to get started in the saltwater hobby, I want to be that last little push to get you into the saltwater hobby. If you're not comfortable with it, I don't want to push you in because I don't want you taking any losses or anything like that. But I would love to be the final push to get anyone into the saltwater hobby that's been on the fence about it. Rock, I appreciate you, bro. He gave you my first 30-gallon. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah, Chase. That's the one. I figured that's the one you were talking about. So remember what I was telling you about that Mandarin Dragonet. You got to make sure you got a healthy establishment of copepods. Even if you go buy the little pods that's inside of that little container that they sell for like $20, it's not enough. They're not big enough. He'll eat all of those. So just make sure. Sometimes you could get them on like live brine shrimp, but it takes time. But I'm glad that I was able to guess the one that you were talking about. And Vish, do I have an Instagram? I sure do. The Fish Corner. The underscore fish underscore corner. Faye Latif, I started after coming across IFG video. Man, Evan, yeah, man. I've watched, Evan is a good dude. A lot of people feel like that he's a bully, feel like that, they got mixed feelings about Evan, but, my first experience with Evan a few years ago, he gave me some game. He noticed that I was overloading, what's it called, tag stuffing inside my description, and he looked out. He didn't even have to look out. He went in, he sent me a message, sent me a direct message like, man, you can't do that. They're going to frown upon that. They might, block your channel and things like that. So immediately show some love. So all I got is respect for Evan. Yeah. Appreciate it, Rob. Animal Instinct, just watching my man drop them duels. I'm trying. What do you use to fix Malawi bloat? Question. All right, so Gaza Gamer asks, question, what do I use to fix Malawi bloat? To fix bloat, I would assume that if your fish has bloat, you might want to stop feeding it what you're feeding it. You might want to change up the food. There are, I use a lot of API brands. I could go grab some, but I would find a brand that actually works for bloat. Also, you could try using like Epsom salt. I've heard people use Epsom salt before. It's kind of like a muscle relaxer. So if your fish has bloat, that might help. I don't really deal with a lot of fish that has bloat. But like I said, the first thing I would do is just stop feeding it the same food that I was feeding it. Chase, okay, that's good to know. Didn't know. I'm fixing to start researching more and more, then start one. Yes, I want the exotic and wow, those pretty clowns. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm glad you know that clowns are nice. But yeah, so another dragonette that's cool though. You probably seen it. And I'm talking to Chase right now. Another dragonette. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This one right here. It's a matter of fact, let me show you this red one real quick. I think you're gonna like this one. Look at this one right here. That's a ruby red dragonette. You see it, Chase? And that's another nice dragonette right there. So you probably could put them in the same tank, but that ruby red is real nice as well. And then here's another one that they have. It's a spotted. I know that's not. There we go. It's another dragonette that's pretty cool. So yeah, just do your research. Like I said, make sure that you have that good population of copepods, and you should be good. My BF's clownfish always bite his hands too. They're angry little things sometimes. I agree with you, Isaac. I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know how aggressive clownfish were until I started keeping them. In different varieties. I always knew that like the maroon clownfish were aggressive. Like if we're talking about like the golden nuggets, we're talking about the cinnamon, we're talking about the tomato, the lightning maroons. I always knew that those were aggressive ones, but the orange and white ones, the traditional ones, the oscillaries, the plain ones, the ones that's like $14 a clownfish, man, they're some of the worst ones. Some of the worst ones. And the bites don't hurt, it's just more annoying. You in there cleaning and all of a sudden you get a little, it's not as bad as, it could be, if you have like a lionfish, but, it's definitely not to be expected. Animal Instinct asks, how that giant gourami doing? The same, man. That thing is doing the exact same. I'm looking at him right now. He still hasn't eaten a damn thing. He hasn't eaten any tank mates. He hasn't eaten any food. He's but I think when he gets hungry enough, he has to eat something. So yeah, pretty much doing the same, swimming around right now. That's what I'm looking at. I can't wait to see him eat. That was like, wasn't my dream fish, but I always wanted a giant gourami that size. Like I couldn't wait for my big guy back here to finally grow out. But I was able to kind of like cut the line, and now I got this big boy. Like I said, I wish I would have known, or I wish I would know what they were feeding him. Somebody dropped them off at Twins. They just clearly don't watch this channel. Shamu. Once I became more experienced and got into the world of larger tanks, my grandparents passed the torch on to me and retired from the hobby, but they feed my fish and do my water changes when I'm on vacation. That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, that's really what's up, man. That's amazing. I'm happy to hear that you still have your grandparents around. Really am. Just got you a colony of frontosas yesterday. How many did you get? Frontosas are nice. Gaza Gamer, I'm glad you got into African cichlids. Me too. I don't regret it at all. I didn't think I was going to enjoy African cichlids as much as I do. But these peacocks are nice. These peacocks are nice. I was already experienced with mbunas, and I kept mbunas with some of my other aggressive cichlids. And, obviously since they're a lot smaller than the fish I keep, the fish kind of like killed them. But I knew that they were very mean. They had these little sharp teeth or whatever, and they were very aggressive. That's why I thought it would work out. But experience told me that, you don't keep, I don't want to say you can't keep Africans with Americans, but I'm not going to keep small Africans with American cichlids. I wouldn't do that. I still keep Africans with Americans. Like I said, the Buddy Cawfry, that's an African cichlid. He's in my pond with my American cichlids, but not the small ones. Not the small ones. Got to be the same size, at least a minimum. I grew from a 5-gallon to a 10-gallon to a 40-gallon to a 125 and now a 135. Yeah, that's how it start. That's how it start. You know how they say when you figure out what size tank you could buy, you just buy that one big aquarium. I don't want to say I'm not a fan of that, but I don't mind someone taking the necessary steps. If you, like he just said, if he started off with a 5 and then he got a 10 and then he went to a 40, 120, he probably still have all those other aquariums. So now he got quarantine tanks. He got another tank that he could put other fish in that's almost the same size, a 125. The 40-gallon could be the grow-out tank. And then he got the 2 quarantines, the 5 and the 10. So it's not even always about just having one size aquarium, the biggest you could afford. If you want to do that, great. But then what you going to do when you need to quarantine? Then what you going to do when you got to separate a fish and the fish is big because you had it in this big tank? What you going to put it in? So that's just how I feel about it. Really nice Randas. Yes, big tank. Yep, that's right, Pooh Bear. Amateur pro racing. Yeah, man. Yep, almost dubbed the numbers today, huh? Yeah, like I said, y'all make this real easy for me. Y'all make it fun. Y'all make it fun for me. I love the engagement. I love connecting with y'all on a deeper level. And man, it allows me to get more familiar with y'all. Usually it's just me doing the videos, recording the videos and getting a few comments, but now I'm over here getting real feedback. So it's a much better way to connect. So we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do these lives often throughout the week. It's fun. I love the engagement. I still don't have a set day. Obviously don't have a set time. Like I said, this is going to be called the pop-up because y'all never know when I pop up. I just hope that y'all tap in with me when I do. Craig Johnson, you in Florida? What's happening with you? And shout out to Florida. And Vish, would I ever do a meetup? I be meeting a lot of folks when I go to the pet store. Um, like what kind of meetup? What kind of meetup? Honestly, not an awkward meetup. We got to meet up and do something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really just trying to go and meet at the park and shake a hand. But if we both go to like a pet store or meet up at a pet store and we something like that, I don't mind. I'm a regular person, so it's all good. What else we got? I'm definitely going to give Saltwater a try. Soothing sounds. I'm definitely going to give a Saltwater a try with a 40-gallon be a good start. A 40-gallon, Soothing sounds, a 40-gallon would be an excellent start. Not just a good start, but an excellent start. With a 40-gallon aquarium, you have a wide variety of fish that you could put in there. You could put clownfish, you could put firefish, you could put damsels, you could put angels, you could put lionfish, you could put some tang, maybe not tangs. You could put little small puffer fish. You got some options. Let's put it like that. You got options. If you want to go aggressive, you could go with frogfish. Yeah. A 40-gallon is an excellent start for your very first saltwater aquarium. On that, you could start off with 2 hang on the back filters, or you could go with 1 big AquaClear 110. That'll filter that aquarium real nice. It wouldn't quite turn it over 3 times, but that 110 is good. That 110 is real good. All right. Tyrell James, what's up, bro? What's happening with you? I can't find any information about that amber and undulated triggerfish. Do you know where I could get some information on it? Not really, man. I usually just Google a lot if I have a question. What's the question? What do you want to know about it? What are you trying to figure out? Oh, you got that one. Yeah, man, that's because you got that super exotic one right there. I don't think anybody got that one, bro. Yeah. Yeah, rare, man. I don't know where you would get any information on that one. It's not the same as the other ones as far as care and things like that. Christine, can I help with the cycling question? Of course. What's the question? Shay says, I got a 75-gallon with 2 hang on the back, 110 Fluval filters. My 55 got 2 hang on the back, 75-gallon Fluval filters. And my 37 got a 50 and 30-gallon hang on the back Fluval filter and 20 with 50. You good, bro. You good. Reaper Aquatics, I'm from Canada. Where is a place to get a dovah? My son and I want one. It's our dream fish. Reaper, that was my dream fish too. I bought mine from Imperial Tropicals. That dovah in this pond, I bought mine from Imperial Tropicals. The female that I had, I bought from Imperial Tropicals. I would highly recommend them. I don't know if they're shipping to Canada, but that's where I bought my dovahs from. I've never even bought one like in the store itself. I've seen some nice ones, but if you get a dovah from them that's 6 inches or bigger, guaranteed they know whether or not it's a male or female. Don't buy a dovah from anybody that's 4 inches and they say, oh, it's a male or oh, it's a female. From my experience, that's too small to tell. And I'm telling you that because I bought a male dovah from Imperial Tropicals at 4 inch. It was a female. I bought the male from Imperial Tropicals. It came at 6 inches. It was a male. So they were able to really accurately determine whether or not it was a male or female because it was a little bit bigger. So if you get one from them and it's 6 inches or bigger, because they do sell them bigger, Imperial Tropicals, check them out. I'll even show you their site right here. Imperial Tropicals is solid. They out of Florida. They obviously closed right now, but this is what they're. I hope that's good. Damn, man. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible, y'all. Nonetheless, you see that circle, that red circle? That's how you know it's Imperial Tropicals. And they got the little African cichlid on the front. So check them out. That's who I would go for. That's who I would contact. And they sell a wide variety of different fish. Chase says 10-gallon quarantine tank with 30-gallon Fluval filter. Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. You doing it right. 100%. Christine, I added way too much ammonia. I added way too much ammonia. Levels are around 2 parts per million. Should I do a 50% water change? Then what? You added ammonia? You added ammonia to your aquarium? If no matter what, if you got too much ammonia in your aquarium, you should definitely do a 50% water change. You should definitely do a water change. You definitely shouldn't leave it like that. Otherwise, you know, your fish could get ammonia burns, they could die, things like that. So I would highly recommend you do a water change. I would do a water change, check it again, see what the levels are, wait a few days, do another water change. But I'm confused about you saying you added way too much ammonia. How did you add ammonia to your aquarium? Malawi Lake 40, I'm into African cichlids, me too. All lakes mostly. Malawi, of course. Yeah, Lake, for sure. And Fish got a small community med-sized tank, med-sized fish on a 55-gallon. Did notice that my Fluval 407 isn't as strong as I thought it would be. That's what I'm telling you. I had one of those. I had a Fluval 407. And man, I don't like speaking bad on Fluval because I like Fluval, but it was trash. It was trash. If it's not the Fluval FX4 or FX6, when you buy it and it goes from working at 100%, then all of a sudden it drops down to like, man, my 407 dropped down to like, I feel like 40%. 40% of efficiency as it was when I first bought it. So I really believe that she'll do a lot better getting you a Fluval FX4 or a Fluval FX6. I know the price isn't where it needs to be. That's expensive. But if you don't want to like build your own filter, just get you that. Go ahead and get you that Fluval FX4. And then that way, if you upgrade that 55 to a 75-gallon or even a 125-gallon, you still kind of covered. You know what I mean? You have filter to grow into. Robert, I found 2 goldfish on a sidewalk walking home. That's how you got started in the hobby? I bet you those goldfish came from the carnival. I bet you they dropped them off after they left the carnival. Damn. You saved those goldfish life. Do you still have them? How long ago was that? Lloyd, 2 lives in a row. Yeah, what's happening? What's happening? Shout out to Michigan. So, like I said, this has been a blast. This has been an absolute blast. I really enjoy this. I really love talking to y'all. And man, this gives me a much better feel for y'all. We're gonna have to start doing it a little bit different because you know it's cool to talk like this, but I hear like the Discord allow y'all to actually talk with sound or something like that. It's kind of like on the video game, so I need to figure out how to do that. And then I do want to get a phone to where I'm able to give a phone like so we could actually talk on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Not my personal phones, but I am going to get either another phone or have a number that y'all could call so we could actually talk and communicate, you know, and get more familiar. Prondo's happening. You new? Thank you for tuning in. Envish FX4, yeah. Jungle Jack says, do I have turtles? I have a Florida soft-shell turtle that's it's kind of big. Miami, she's in the other fish room. I have a African side neck and I have a Mississippi matte. Guys, again, I'm getting FX4 tomorrow for $100. That's a score. That's a score right there. I would have bought that too. Yeah, the 407s. Man, it's good that you about to get that FX4 though, for sure. You gonna like that. Mo, what's happening? What's happening? Thank you for tapping in. FX4 or FX6 for a 75-gallon with 5 turtles. Man, I know, man, you can't, man. My honest opinion, 5 turtles in a 75-gallon is not good. That's too many turtles in a 75-gallon. That's just too many. It don't even matter. Like, that's way too many turtles in a 5-gallon. They're very dirty. Man, 5 turtles? 5 turtles, huh? I'm looking around at one of these aquariums that I would feel comfortable with putting 5 turtles in. What kind of turtles? What kind of turtles? That's what I need to ask you. No matter what, though, bro, you got to go big. You got to go that FX6, and then you also got to upgrade that 75-gallon aquarium. That's too many turtles, man. That's too many turtles. Yeti, what's happening? CBF, we all love fish here. It's what saltwater? That's a saltwater tank right here. That's a freshwater tank right there. If y'all just tuning in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button for me one time. We've been on this live for 87 minutes. I didn't even think I was going to go this long. We're talking about what got y'all started in the hobby. How did y'all get started in the hobby? If you haven't answered that question, please answer that question. I would love to know how y'all got started. Anthony, what's happening with you, bro? What's going on, man? You caught the live, huh? Thank you for tuning in. We've been doing this for a little while now. I told you, I said yesterday we're gonna be doing lives more often. So yeah, I'm not gonna go back on my word. This is fun. Shout out, man. Shout out to New Orleans. Shamu, been a fish keeper since I was 5 years old. I'm 24 now, so about 19 years. I spent the first 8 years not knowing what I was doing, but then I brought my hobby to YouTube and learned a lot. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, 19 years is a long time, and no, man, you was learning for those 8 years. We all make mistakes. Hell, I make mistakes now. You know what I mean? That's what the hobby is about. You know, that's why I love this hobby so much. No matter how long you've been in this hobby, there's always something else to learn. There's always something else that's gonna come out, that's gonna, that somebody else could help you with, and things like that. It's not a lot of hobbies I feel like that's like that, but this hobby is like that. We just had Tyrell just say that he was looking for some information on a certain type of trigger. He can't find nothing anywhere. I mean, that's right now. In a couple years, he might be able to look online, and there's tons of information on there. And then YouTube really just blew open the doors for all of us. I mean, I used YouTube to allow me to get started with the saltwater hobby. I'd allowed YouTube to help me gain the confidence to build my aquarium stands and hell, build my whole fish room. I mean, I'm using YouTubers because I'm a YouTube consumer. I'm using YouTube to help me build this 1,600-gallon plywood aquarium. I'm a consumer of this hobby. I love this hobby, and I love watching other people talk about the hobby, show me what they're doing and things like that. So I 100% agree with you. Christopher, I have A 30-gallon tank, and I'm about to start. Hang on a back filter. Do I need a wave maker to begin? Looking to start with clowns and damsels. Um, yeah, you could get a wave maker. It always helps. It breaks up that surface water. You don't want the surface water to get stagnant. So, when you get that wave maker, make sure it's appropriate for your size aquarium, which is the 30-gallon. Point it up towards the top of the water. So you basically, you create that oxygen. You know what I mean? That oxygen exchange. And then also, your water don't become stagnant. So yeah, you could definitely, you definitely should get that wave maker. Malawi Lake, 25 years ago, from a guy next door in an apartment complex. He became my best friend. Jungle Jack says you could ask the question. Go ahead. My dad had fish when I was young. Where you go? My dad had fish when I was young, and the apple don't fall far from the tree. That's what's up, man. I think that's gonna be Carter's story. My dad passed by the time I was 5, but Carter definitely gonna be able to look back at these videos, see himself in these videos. He's gonna be coming in here, seeing that he got basically an aquarium in his garage. That's definitely something that I value. All right, Chase. Glad you confirmed that. Jay's Aquatics. I'm in here working on the fish room while watching and let it vibe. I really appreciate that. How's that fish room coming along? You gotta send some pictures, man. I need to see that. I need to see that. Yeah, Lee, where am I located again? I'm in Sacramento, California. Hot Chocolate Luna. I love your content. You have inspired me to get a fish. I'm so happy to hear that. This is a cult. I'm trying to recruit. I'm trying to get everybody into the fish hobby. It's so sad that more people aren't into the fish hobby. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'll say it again in case you missed it. My family, not into the fish hobby. The people that was in the fish hobby, they're no longer here. My friends, not into the fish hobby. I don't know anybody personally that's in the fish hobby. That's why you always see me doing everything by myself. They don't let us. When I moved here, the fact that they weren't in the fish hobby is the reason why everything went the way it went. They didn't have any respect for the fish hobby. They didn't have respect for the fish. They didn't have respect for the tanks and the core and the equipment. And not saying, I appreciate the help, but man, y'all my family, my YouTube family, my fish family. So some of us still have supporters around that's in the fish hobby and love the fish hobby, and they could get on the phone and communicate about the fish. I don't have that. My family though, my family that's here, we care about the fish hobby. But outside of this household, nobody don't care. They don't give a damn about the fish. Javon Freeman, Fluval FX4 or FX6 for a 70-gallon with, I already answered that question. All right, let's get to the next one. See, Gaza Gamer, he on point. Says good to have the overkill for sure. I'm thinking about the Fluval FX4 for my 75 and an FX6 for the 125. Yeah, but if you have 5 turtles in that 75, you need the FX6 on that one too. You need it on that one as well. You had to get 2 FX6 filters. Man, when I was in an apartment and I had my 125 set up, I had 2 FX6 filters on both of my 125s. Overkill. I was able to put whatever I wanted to put in there. Didn't have to worry about nothing. Hey, Coop, you got started with a 10-gallon tank. That's what's up. Me too. Thank you, Pooh Bear. Appreciate you. If y'all just tapping in, and y'all new here, consider subscribing to the channel. If y'all haven't done so already, please hit that like button one time. Sometimes or often, in the more feed on the yeah. Carl said that's how he came home with his first fish from the carnival. Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's negligent for the carnivals to be giving out or allowing just kids to randomly win these fish when they don't know if they have aquariums at the house. They don't know what kind of aquarium they have at the house. So a lot of the time, you're sentencing these fish to death. I mean, I guess people don't care because they're feeder fish, but they're still a life. So it's like, we know that goldfish get 8 inches. If you don't have an aquarium that will house an 8-inch fish, then what are you doing? You know, it's all fun and games until you have a goldfish that's floating inside of your small tank, and now you got to explain to your kid what happened. Am I behind on the cleans? I feel bad when them fish get to giving the prizes. Yeah, Isaac on point. Yeah, I feel bad for them fish that get given as prizes in those bags for kids who won't be able to keep them properly. Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. Chase says, I started with a 2.5 gallon for a betta, then bought a 5. Man, I'm quick. Then bought a 5 and then a 10 gallon for the betta. There you go. That's what you call an upgrade. That's how you do it. You did right. Let me get down to the bottom. I feel like I'm way behind. Damn, I am. All right, Chase, you have a good one. I appreciate you. Kevin said, will I ever get an MBU puffer? Nah, I don't have an aquarium. I don't have an aquarium for it. They definitely need a big aquarium, and I don't have one for them. Michael Wells say, do you use freshwater test strips or API master kit? I have 2 master kits that API sent to me, but I don't really test my water unless I need to. My bad, y'all. I'm definitely behind on the questions. Scoop is asked, bro, would you get a giant Goliath tigerfish? I'm picking mine up this weekend. I used to want one, but now that I have the setups that I have, I gotta basically get fish that'll work with the accommodations that I have currently. So as far as a Goliath fish, I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think it really works well in my fish room. But if something was to happen once I built that 1,600 gallon, once I built this 3,000 or whatever this is gonna be, and I have some tanks open, possibly. But it's great that you already have a tank set up for that fish. That way you can add any fish based around that. You know, we all got our certain fish that we all want to keep. Mine was a doveye. So once I got my doveye, I wanted to have certain fish that could live with those fish and things like that. And Reaper, you're welcome. All right. Well, Chance said he don't see any of the people that I'm responding to. Well, I was at the top of the screen. Now I see way at the bottom. I done missed a ton of comments. So let me get to the bottom then. Let's see what they said. Kevin, I missed his comment. Will I ever get an embu? I answered that question already. Hello, Melina. Go Hammond, appreciate it. Junior, again, shout out to Los Angeles. I appreciate you for tuning in. Mike said he had a 5-gallon jar, pickle jar for 10 guppies in 1972. That's deep. Back then, that was okay. Josh said, are there any other fish YouTube channels that I enjoy watching? There's actually a bunch that I enjoy watching. I watch Ohio Fish Rescue. I watch Mike Loves Life and Aquatics. I watch Prime Cichlids. I watch Prime Time Aquatics. I watch Ben Ochart. I watch, believe it or not, I watch Blake. Paul Cafaro was one of the main ones that I was watching when I seen how sponsors and things like that can transform your yard. Like, you know, I remember when I seen his video probably 7 years ago that he had Aquascape come out and redo his backyard. But like I said, like there's definitely a lot of different channels that I watched. I named a whole list. I've watched Mr. Feet the Fish. I've watched Boss Aquatics. I've watched just a lot. Is there any that you want me to watch? Is there somebody that you think I haven't seen that I probably should watch? Like I said, it's definitely a lot. But now that I'm on the spot, I can't just name them all. Hey, what's up, Regina? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching. As I said, if y'all are just tapping in, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. The question that we're asking everybody to answer when you tap in is how did you get started in the hobby? Hong Tran said, when you gonna do corals again? Soon as I get those 2 eels out of that 37 gallon. Oh yeah, I watch predatory fins. I've been watching predatory fins for years. Predatory fins. I was watching Stingray Biology before they clicked up. I remember when Rodrigo was a jerk. When Zach Ketchum started going down there and started doing little recordings and all that before Paul even went to him. I was watching predatory fins. So yeah, I watch predatory fins. All right, so I like fish. I got started as a child when my neighbor gave me his 55-gallon, 2 Oscars, and a snakehead. Probably not the best idea. Man, you know, I watch Aquarium Adventures as well. Aquarium Adventures, he has a snakehead in his 800-gallon plywood build, and he also has Oscars in there with it. And I also watch Aquarium Domain. I used to watch Off the Deep End Aquatics. I used to watch IFG. Like I said, I'm a student of the hobby. So I watch a lot of different people. I have a lot of streamlined fast fish. I have a 265-gallon custom embrace, your Euro brace tank, current stock, golden dorado, northern pike, 2 iridescent sharks, going to rehome, I bet you are, and 2 Temensis bass. Damn. I used to watch King Quinn cichlids as well. I used to watch Andy Wood cichlids. I used to watch Guap Patel male. I used to watch, I still watch Aquarium Co-op. I watch Hawaiian Fish Keeper. I watch Tazawa Tanks. Watch DSW Darius or DWS Darius. Now, as far as that golden dorado and northern pike, I definitely would love to get my hands on a northern pike. The golden dorado is sick too, but as you said, fast swimming fish. You need a big tank for them. And all of my big tanks are kind of like stocked with big aggressive fish. Have I ever watched My Aquatic Diary Toby? I have not. I have not caught that one. So if I've missed your question, please go ahead and ask again. I don't want to miss them. And we've been on this thing for a minute. No, I haven't heard of him. Haven't heard of him. I've also watched my inappropriate reefer. Shamu says, I only have a 135 gallon with community fish, roseline sharks, barbs, rainbow fish, a red-tailed shark, an angel, serpate tetras, Siamese algae eaters, and blue acar and more. It sounds like a nice setup. I love the roseline sharks. Yeah, I'll check them out. Yep, I would definitely check them out. My aquatic diary. Let me make sure that let me go check them out right now on my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and look them up real quick. Let me see. My aquatic diary. All right. Hopefully his will come up. Okay, I found him. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I'll check him out. I'll check him out for sure. Pietro, I 100% watch Ohio Fish Rescue, and I watch Ohio Fish Rescue behind the scenes. I say it all the time. They are the only ones in the hobby that will show you how big a lot of these fish get, the full potential of these fish, whether it be arapaima, whether it be red-tailed catfish, whether it be pacu, whether it be a lot of these fish, the gouramis, like Schwarzenegger, the iridescent shark, the fire eels, they got some of the biggest fish in the hobby. So he has ponds that put everyone to shame, bigger than OFR. When I have my own place and can get multiple tanks, I'll get into Oscars and all that. Since I can only have one tank, I chose a community setup so I can have a bunch of fish. Yeah, I feel you. Don't worry about it. You're going to get there. When I was in the apartment, I definitely was limited on the things that I wanted to do. Now that I'm inside of a house, I definitely could do exactly what I want to do, and just make sure that you plan it out. Make sure you plan it out when you do it. I went to a carnival and won a goldfish, and he died on me. So I got so mad. I put time and effort to learn, and now it has been 7+ years, and I watched your saltwater tank set up for the 20 gallon. It's easy. I'm glad. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you for acknowledging that. I'm sorry that goldfish died on you, but you know what? That literally got the ball rolling for where you are right now. With Oscars, you could only fit like 3 into a 135, so I stick with a community tank with 30+ smaller fish that grow no larger than 6 inches. That's smart. That's definitely smart. Oscars get huge. How much is your light bill? Well, the light bill isn't just a fish room. It's a totality of the lights everywhere. It's a few $100s. Where's that hybrid red devil / Mannequins? Did you miss that video? Did I post it? I didn't post that. I got a video showing him off. I made that video yesterday, so I'll probably drop that video tomorrow. But he's right there in that 150 gallon. He's been chasing around that fire horn for the better part of this video. How do I maintain the temps on the saltwater in the garage? Right now, the temp on this aquarium is high. It's 84.5 degrees. And I don't have any heaters on it. I don't have heaters on any of these aquariums aside from the discus tank. But since it's been so hot lately, I don't have to worry about having heaters on these tanks. Now, it's a lot cheaper to heat or cool the room. It is exceptionally hard to cool this room when it's hot. It's 97 degrees and higher outside. So I worry more about cooling them than heating them. If it gets too hot, then I have frozen water bottles. I throw a frozen water bottle in the aquarium, bring down the temperature. That's my way of doing it, the poor man's way. Now, ideally, I would love to have a nice split system AC unit in here. You know, split system means I have a condenser outside, and then I have the register on the inside of the garage. Let me make sure I'm this way then. So if I had that, then it would cool the room down. I would have the garage closed more, my tanks wouldn't get algae, and it'd be a lot simpler. But since I don't have that, then I have to do it, like I said, the poor man's way, which is using, ice water bottles to cool it down. Another way is to blow a fan over the top of your water, top of the tank, and then that's supposed to help cool it down. I haven't done it that way, but from what I hear, that way it works. As far as heating the room, close the garage, cut on the heater in the house, it'll heat the room. I could even bring, a heater in here. But again, if you have a system, a unit that heats and cools, you cut on the heater. If you plan it out, you can have it done that way. Onyx Games, what do you do when it's cold outside? Close the garage, cut on the heater in the house. I got a duct right there, a heating duct, heating/cooling duct. So when it gets too cold, I do that. Cut on the heater in here, or I have the heaters in each of these aquariums. Now, all these aquariums had heaters. I took them out because of the summer weather. I don't need them running. So if it started getting too cold, then I'll just throw the heaters in. Boop, it'll work. How is the plywood aquarium going? Any updates soon? Looking to get mine started. Just waiting for now and doing research. Jose, so it's on hold, bro. It's on hold, man. This shit costs a lot of money, and I got to prioritize. I got to make sure my family taken care of, bills taken care of, things like that. It's not cheap having a house, so so I got to make sure that I'm prioritizing. Now, when I do get some free money, some extra money, then I'll go ahead and I'll start back up and I'll start buying little things. I'll buy the wood and, the glass is going to probably cost another $3,000 to finish building this thing. Meanwhile, I'm just like you. I'm doing my research. If you want to find an excellent teacher on how to build plywood aquariums, check out Aquarium Domain. Aquarium Domain. He should be the example of how to build these plywood aquariums. I'm gonna show you his page right here. This is what it looks like. This is what his page looked like. So check out Aquarium Domain. I don't know if you already watch him, but that dude knows what the fuck he's doing. And pardon my language, but he knows what the fuck he's doing. So definitely should check him out. Shamu said, even though I'm only 24, I feel old in this YouTube community. Been posting since 2012. I remember the Rick 2325, Mr. Mom Tanks, Mr. Honey to You, Maurice, McComey. Yeah. You've been watching YouTube longer than me, that's a fact. But you're never too old to learn something. You're never too young to learn something. I learn things from people younger. I learn things from people older. Only a fool believes that they know everything, and only a fool believes that you don't know something because of your age. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it makes me sad when these YouTubers vanish from YouTube as well, off the deep end aquatics, man. Like, I used to watch his channel all the time. Mike Terrell. I used to watch his channel, and now he's not here. IFG isn't here. Guapatel Mel isn't here. Um, King and Queen Cichlids not here anymore. Who else? I feel like Andy Woods is kind of like toning down his recordings, his videos. It's hard. It's hard for people to. Yeah, Andy, he really just downsized a lot. Shane Henry, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What should you put it into it? What should you put in a 20-gallon high? Saltwater? Are we talking about salt? But yeah, so it's really hard. This is not an easy hobby. Fresh, you could do a nice man. I would probably do kind of like something that I did with my 20-gallon lawn. So I just set up my betta tank with the 20-gallon lawn, and I got my betta in there, my mustard betta in there. I have 8 T-bone tetras in there, and then I have 8 rummy nose tetras. I have 2 African dwarf frogs. I'm gonna put a nice colony, about 6 Cory cats in there, and it's gonna look amazing. So you can do something like that. You can either do that with the betta, because the betta is my centerpiece fish. So you can find a cool little centerpiece fish that's gonna work with all of your other community fish, and that will work. Kevin says, what is my job? Well, I have a business. Still a job, because if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. So I have my own business. It's a maintenance business called Fresh Start Janitorial Maintenance Services. So I do. It's almost like handyman work, but I do it for corporations. I do it for commercial buildings. I don't do residential. So I do a little bit of everything. I have my plumbing license. I have my painting license. I went to school for HVAC, even though I don't really like to do HVAC. So I do everything under the sun. I do painting. I build fences. I do flooring. I do landscaping. I do moving. Just a wide array of things. If I told you all the different jobs, I do biohazard cleanup. Just so much different shit. The only thing I don't do pertaining to any kind of construction type of work is I don't do I do minor electrical. I change ballasts. I could do things like that. Change outlets, things like that. That's nothing. But I don't really do things. I'm not changing no transformers. I'm not changing no circuit breakers, no circuit panels. I don't do HVAC. I'm not evacuating no HVAC units. So other than that, if they call me for some work, I'm getting to it. See, Pooh Bear, mine is a red devil and I have him alone. He doesn't play well with others. Pooh Bear, you sure about that? You sure he don't play well with others? What size tank? I guarantee that if we talk about it, if you want to have him in a tank with somebody else, we can find a tank mate for him. 100%. But you probably couldn't put that fish with just one other fish. If the tank is big enough, you could definitely probably put like another 2 or 3 fish in there with him. The reason why I say that, because I had a buddy of mine, he had his red devil alone for like 10 years. Killed everything in the tank. But when he told me about the stocking, I was like, of course. Oscars, of course he's going to kill them. Green Terrors, of course he's going to kill them. You know what I mean? And then once it got big, he started adding other fish later on. And so it was killing the fish as they went. He gave it to me. I threw him in the tank with my it was a 125. I was in an apartment, smaller tank. It was small conditions, small confinement. So I threw him in a 125 gallon. I had my Dovi in there, my buddy in there, my Red Devils, etc., etc. Threw him in there. He was a tank boss, He was probably about 13 inches, and he didn't kill nothing. He didn't kill nothing. It worked out. Shamu, despite how long I've been doing this fish keeping gig, I've never gotten that deep into the science behind it other than the basics like maintenance, nitrogen cycle, and the fish compatibility. Okay, yep. Henry retracted his message. But yeah, you know, you might not be into that now. I feel like a lot of the things that we learn it as we need it. If there's somebody that you really want to like, that you could follow, I could recommend somebody, Father Fish. So Father Fish, Pooh Bear, you been, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. So Father Fish breaks it down to the science, and I'm just one of those kind of people that enjoys that content. Like I really value watching Father Fish and the way that he contributes to the hobby. And we've been on this thing for 2 hours. Shit. I didn't even expect to be on it for 2 hours. That's a that's another good night. So if you're just tuning in, the topic of the night has been how we got started in the hobby. Yeah, Gaza Gamer Father Fish is definitely old school. But okay, I'm glad you said you love it. All right. I was about to say you might be old school, but you never too old to teach, a young dog new tricks and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like he say, try to keep it dirty. Jose, what's your next big thing or your plan for the future opening the fish store? Nah, I would never open a fish store. I would never open a fish store. Um, Honestly, bro, I'm just enjoying what I do. Like, I'm a fish keeper. I'm not really a fish seller. I love this hobby. I love keeping the fish that I keep. I just want to keep them correctly. That's the whole reason why I'm turning the garage into what it is. That's why I want to do the 1600 gallon, because I want to make sure my fish have more space. That's why I want to make this pond bigger, because I want to make sure my fish have more space. The same thing for the saltwater. Um, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I already got my own business. I got a couple different businesses, so just gonna keep doing that. Keep building and doing what I can. But as far as opening a fish store, that's never been a passion of mine. We need to see that plywood master start getting some work done. Can't wait. Plywood monster. Yeah, I can't wait to see this plywood built, man. I can't wait, man. That's gonna be a sick ass. That's gonna be a sick ass build. And that's facts. Like I keep saying, it just costs costs money. You know what I mean? It just costs money. It's gonna take some time. Once I'm able to build this one, it's gonna be a chain effect. After I do that, I can move the fish up out of possibly the 240. I could move them out of the 225, the 150. That's gonna open up those tanks. You know what I mean? Then I could probably move these saltwater guys into the 240, so I could build this 800 gallon right here. This 225 is gonna go to the other fish room. I'm gonna take the 125 that's over here where I have have my other saltwater fish. I'm gonna put it down there for a sump. The fish that was in the 125 is gonna go into the 180 from the other fish room. So it's definitely a lot that got to get done. It's a lot that I want to do, but I'm a strong believer in always having something to do. You know what I mean? I don't stay complacent. I always want to make things bigger and better. You know, you never dealt. Hold on. I missed that one. I've never dealt with fin rot or fungal infection, so I'd be like, what the fuck do I do? If it happened, only experienced ick and Popeye a couple of times, but it's been years and I was able to cure it very quick. Now, keep on hand some Pimifix and some Melifix. Pimifix is probably going to help you with the fin rot. Where's the Melifix? I don't have either one of them in front of me. But if you have Pimifix and Melifix and you develop fin rot, when I bought T.O., my Tiger Oscar, he came with fin rot. I still bought him. I treated him, brought him back to health. He was good. I've dealt with ick. I've dealt with fin rot. I've dealt with Popeye. I've dealt with internal parasites. I've done with the cottony growth on my fish. I dealt with the open sores. I haven't dealt with velvet and saltwater fish, but as you encounter these things, you'll learn how to deal with them. But make sure you keep you with some Pimifix on hand, some Melifix on hand, some Prazi Pro for internal parasites. Copper Safe works very well for saltwater and freshwater. If you have ick, it's very good. I've never lost fish to Copper Safe, but just keep some of these medications on hand just in case you run into a situation. Aquarium Domain, what's up with you, bro? Man, thank you for tapping in. I was just talking about, y'all see this man right here? Aquarium Domain. I was telling you about the man with the plan. That's who I'm telling you that everybody should follow his example of these plywood builds. So get over there, go subscribe to the channel and see what this man is doing right now. He has a 4,500 gallon build that he's doing. If that don't make you feel excited, you should just go back a little time, look at the 1,800 gallon Predator Bay, saltwater, crazy. I'm not even gonna tell you the stock, and you gotta get on over there to check it out. The 3,000 gallon that he built in the wall, right? That's the man right there, Aquarium Domain. I'm not playing. Ever since I watched his first video of the 3,000 gallon, I was just enamored with the way that he builds these aquariums. Like, he builds everything, and it's not even just that. Build rooms out, man. Like, my room is shit compared to his, and I think my room looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm not trying to boast. I'm not trying to juice it up. I'm telling you the absolute truth. Y'all know I don't lie. Get on over there, check out his channel. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. You're gonna learn some shit. You're gonna be like, damn, like, man, this looks so good. It does. It does. So check him out. Yeah, it's a game I'm trying to build on my basement. I'm trying to build on in my basement a 12 by 6 by 4. Yeah, well, you're going to have to go check out. Make sure you follow it. Make sure you follow the Aquarium Domain. Make sure you follow the Aquarium Domain. He's going to definitely give you some excellent tips on how to build that aquarium. Hey, I'm not telling no lies. I'm not telling no lies, man. But you might feel like I'm being kind, but I'm being honest. I'm not telling no lies. See, Shamu understand. He knows. For sure. And I missed a couple of comments. Let's see. I'm going to try to build in my basement. How much have you spent? So MA asks, how much have I spent on the fish room? I don't know. I probably spent more money on the fish than I spent on the wood that it took to build this thing. A lot of the wood that I used to build most of these stands and things in here, I had left over from jobs that I've done in the past. Jay Smooth asks, have I ever thought about selling stands? You got some solid ones built. I've never thought about it. It probably costs too much to ship. If somebody was local and they wanted me to build them a stand, I would do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'll get that done in one day. All right, I'm going to Shane here like the burnt wood. Me too. The first person that I seen do it was on a house flipping show. They burned the gate. I'm like, damn, like, you could burn the wood on the gate and it brings out the grain. And then when I seen Cam Kennan, I seen him do it on one of his enclosures. I was like, oh, I could do that. I could do that easy. And then I just started doing it. And that's the theme of my whole room. I got burnt wood everywhere. A 600 gallon community tank is by far my favorite. Can't wait to see the 4,500 get finished. Man, honestly, Shamu, I love all of his tanks, but you know, I really do like Predator Bay, the 1800. The 1800 is sweet. The 3,000 gallon was the one that made me keep coming back. You know, he keeps the pikes in there, the Oscars. I remember that green, the electric blue Jack Dempsey he had that passed away. Like, you know, he had the Zebrina pike, if I'm not mistaken. He has the Atabapo. Um, yeah, yeah, he has some nice fish. Bob, what's going on? Tyson, what's happening? Gerald say you're a carpenter, so building things is easy. Man, I'm not. I wish it was as easy for me as it is for you. I had to do a lot of studying. Had to get real confident, real comfortable, and you know, I'm still, like I said, I'm mediocre. I'm so mediocre when it comes to building things, but I try. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to try things, and you know, when we fail at things in life, that's when those sometimes that's our greatest teacher. So, you know, I'm not afraid to fail to learn. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go back on these questions. I feel like I missed some. Lotima says, bro, you on fire. Then I can't keep about to watch the new new monster fish. Quickly check my phone and boom, you're live. Yeah, bro. Like I said last night, man, y'all made this real easy and real comfortable for me. So I feel like why not just go ahead and do it again? And so here we are. Here we are. You know, we could do this often. I'm trying to come up with topics, but if y'all have anything that y'all want to talk about, get in the comments, let me know, and we can make it happen. But on another note, like I said, like this is, you know, I feel like that I'm over here talking to one of my old school partners right now. I definitely appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Mike. Yeah, DSW Darius for sure has some nice predator fish. All those bass that he got, we almost have some of the same fish. We have a lot of the same fish, as a matter of fact. Jake says, are the peacock cichlids any harder to keep than the South American cichlids? Um, any harder? No. Any harder? No. But you'll be surprised that these little fish are aggressive, and you end up still having to take some out. Like I had to take out that aggressive OB the other night because he kept on picking on my red shoulder. So I took him out, put him down below with the other guys down there, and I didn't expect that. But when you have like the Americans, when you have these American cichlids, you kind of expect, you know, aggression. You know what I mean? And I have plenty of aquariums to move them around because that's all I keep. So I can move one from here, put it over here, you know, things like that. It's a lot easier. DG says, I got my freshwater puffer, a fajaka. It's been cool watching them grow. That's what's up. That's what's up. I had an MBU puffer before. I never had a fajaka. I had an MBU puffer before, but I was kind of green to it. I had it in the tank with excuse me. I had it in the tank with my African pike. My African pike would only eat feeders. So I'm buying a ton of feeders every time it's time for them to eat, throwing them inside the tank. What you think happened? Ick. So I didn't lose my African pike, but I lost my puffer. Live and learn. Yeah, that's right. The lenticulata pike. My bad. My bad. I did forget that one. Yeah, man. I can't wait to see that 4,500 built. I can't wait to see that whole room built out. I know it's about to look insane. Jose says, what do you feed for the most growth? Just got a red devil. Where's I don't have my food in here right now, but I've been feeding my fish the Hikari floating sticks. Coffee. I've been feeding my fish the Hikari floating sticks for the past few months. If you're really trying to make your fish grow for a short period of time, on and off, you could probably feed a little beef heart. I know. Don't get on me. I know how some people feel, but I've done this before. I fed my fish beef heart. I do a little beef heart mixture. If you really want to add some other things to it, you could just make the diet yourself. You get the little beef heart, you blend it up. You could put a little garlic in there. You could put some spirulina in there so they could get their vitamins. Put whatever. You could even put fish food in there. I've done that before too. A little bit. I crush up some fish food, whether it be the pellets, whether it be flakes or whatever. Put that all in there. Put it in. Put it in a piece of put it in some freezer bags, flatten it out, freeze it, and just break a piece of it and feed it to your fish. Now again, you're gonna get mixed reviews on it. Some people say you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't feed your fish, you know, red meat like that. But if you go to the fish store, they have beef heart cubes. So that's why I went ahead and I just bought my beef heart and did this. You could go to a butcher, they'll sell you some beef heart by the pound, or you could go to a Winco, you could go to a Walmart, they'll have like right there next to your ground beef, they'll have some beef heart sliced up. That's all you got to do. I wouldn't just take the beef heart and just feed it to my fish though. I wouldn't just cut a piece because it's so, like I said, I would blend it up first. So that's recommended if you're trying to get some quick growth on your fish. You could also try like silver sides if you don't want to go with the beef heart. You could do shrimp sometimes, you know, more protein. But you got to be careful with that. You don't want to cause bloat. You don't want to make your fish unhealthy. You don't want to grow it too fast. So, hope that helps. Shane, thank you. I appreciate that. Are German blue rams hard to keep? Looking for some freshwater color. I've never had German rams. I wanted to get some myself. I definitely wanted to get some of those. I think they're beautiful. I've seen them in tanks at the fish store in like 20 gallons, and they had those with the rummy nose tetras. Look absolutely amazing. I definitely think that would be a good setup. But make sure you limit the amount of those rams because it is a cichlid, and they might be a little aggressive towards like the smaller fish, like, you know, the rummy nose tetras. Shamu said, I can't keep the hardy tiger barbs alive, but somehow the notorious sensitive roseline sharks thrive in my tanks. We all have those fish that's like our Achilles heel. I have some fish that's like my Achilles heel. Electric Blue Jack Dempsey's been so hard to grow out for me. Almost impossible. I have one down here that I've had for months, and it's still like this big. Still this big. My Madagascars. I've tried multiple times with the Madagascars. Plecos, fancy plecos. Some fish, and don't let me get started on like the royal pleco. It's insane. It's insane. So some fish are definitely like my Achilles heel, and maybe it's not enough education. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I feel you. I feel you. Amateur Pro Racing says, I hope you get into predatory haps once you finish up with that peacock collection, bro. Man, I hope I don't finish up with that, man. I hope they grow and thrive and go get put into a bigger aquarium, and you know, I hope I don't have to switch it up. The haps are kind of ugly to me. If I could be honest with you. The haps are kind of ugly, at least the haps that I've seen. The long face, you know, and they get big and they're extra aggressive. Then it's like if I want a big aggressive cichlid, I'm gonna give me a nice looking American cichlid. I won't go to a big African cichlid, man, if I wanted a big aggressive cichlid. But that's just me. I got the peacocks because I thought they were peaceful. I didn't know until I bought these peacocks that they were some hybrid imbunas, like the OBs. I had no idea. I thought all the peacocks were the same. They were happy fish that just get along, no fighting or anything like that. I guess that's my problem. That's my fault for not doing enough education on it beforehand. But as I'm learning, the OBs are mixed with Mbuna. So I get some of that aggression from the Buddhas, and they definitely fight. They definitely pick on each other, and yeah, live and learn. You know what I mean? Now I got them. Now I got 14 right there. I got one down below. They all are doing absolutely amazing. Now that I took out that extra aggressive OB, I plan on getting about 6 more of those peacock cichlids. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Just one of those things. All right, good night, Shane. Appreciate you for stopping through. Jose, yeah, that's what I've been feeding. Just curious on what you feed. Just got a 180 and can't wait to get other tank mates. Any recommendations as well? Let me see what you said you got in your tank. Besides the Red Devil, I would recommend the Buddy Call Fry. Size tank you say it is again? A 180. I would do the Buddy Call Fry. I would get another Red Devil. I would get a second Red Devil. Because, they have so many different variations, nice colors. I would do a second Red Devil. I would add like a Buddy Call Fry. You could probably get away with a Feste. Get you a male Feste. Because it's bigger, right? You could also you might be able to get away with the Jag. I'm not going to mention the Dovai because the Dovai get too big. You could probably get away with a Jag, a female Jag one. The female gets kind of big too. But I still might say a female Jag. It depends on how many fish you want in there though. But you need to make sure that it's of equal aggression. You want to make sure that you don't put anything in there that could become a victim. I would not put any Oscars in there, no green terrors or nothing like that. Those will be victimized long term. But again, that's just my selection. I feel like Red Devils are I feel like it goes Dovai, Betty Carfari, Red Devil, either Feste or Jag. I mean, the Jags try to be aggressive, but they're not on the same level as like the Buddy Carfari and the Red Devil, especially not the Dovai. All my Jags been they're big for nothing. But now if you put them in a tank with something that's like more docile, like Oscars and green terrors, they could terrorize those fish. Otis, good evening. Pooh Bear, I have 2 female eye biters. Love them. Look like dinosaurs. That's nice. I don't even know what the eye biters are. What's the eye biters? They got to be goldfish. Let me see. Let me look it up real quick, y'all. Hold on. Give me a minute. Goldfish eye biters. Nothing's popping up. I don't know what the eye biters are. I know I'm an amateur. I'm not into goldfish. I'm not into the goldfish like that. I know. I was proud of the fact that I learned what orandas were, and I know what the fancy tail goldfish are. I don't know what the common goldfish is actually called. It's not a goldfish. What is it? What is it? Oh, Malawi eye biter. Oh, let me see. Now let me look it up. Let me look that up. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all teaching me stuff. There we go. That's what I don't like. See, I didn't know the name of it, but when I think about the haps, that's what I think about. That's what I think about when I think about the haps. I don't like them. Yeah. I don't like the long face. You know what I would get over that eye biter? Let me show you what I would get over that eye biter right here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna show you what I would get over that eye biter. Here we go. This is what I would want. Everybody's holding this big ass fish, but I don't want to show you the big ass fish. I want to show you, damn. You know what? It is what it is. This is what I would want to get over the eye biter. You see that? It's a tiger muskie. That's what I would want over that tiger eye biter. That's something that I feel like I got to get in the future. A tiger muskie. Predatory Fins got them for sale. I need one of those. I definitely want a tiger muskie. Let me see. Those things bigger than me. Man, let me see how big they get. Let me see how big they get. They get 4 feet long. Well, I'm just saying, if I was going to get something like that, that's what I would want to get. I would love to have a tiger muskie though. Damn. Yeah. You got to admit though, they look nice though, right? The tiger muskie is one of the ones that's definitely on my radar. If I built this motherfucker right here and it's like 4,000 gallons, man, 4 foot is big though. Let's see how big they say they get in captivity. Damn. Here's a trip, right? So I typed this in. I says, can you keep a muskie can you keep a muskie in an aquarium? It says I would recommend a minimum of 220 gallons. Can you believe that? It says for an average tank with a pet fish that you really do not want to get too big, 24 to 30 inches, a 125 gallon tank should do the trick. So it says that if I have a 225 or a 220 gallon aquarium, I can have a muskie. 6 foot? Mike, you said they get about 6 foot? Looks like I won't have a muskie. Looks like I won't be buying them. You know, I'm trying to make sure that I'm responsible with the fish that I buy. I don't want any fish. I'm not buying any fish that gets 4 foot. I'm not. I have a couple fish that can get potentially 3 foot. But I'm not doing something that get 4 foot. Northern pike or cooler. Is that what predatory fins are selling? Hold on. Oh, that does look nice too. 6 to 24 inches. I think I might have to get one of those. It almost looked like the muskie too, just don't have that muskie size. Look at this. Look at that. They're still big though, but I could actually do that one. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yep. You just solidified it. Thank you. I appreciate that. We definitely going to get a northern pike now. Not now, but we are going to get a northern pike in this fish room. Latino, yeah, that's definitely a big fish. That fish is 16 inches. That's a 16-inch giant red-tailed gourami. What's going on in my massive corner tank? Everybody that's not in the pond, everybody that's in the 240, that giant gourami is going to go in there. Basically, every saltwater fish I have, aside from the ones that's in this pond, is going into that 1600. I'm not putting the albino arowana in there, but Hopefully I could get the albino arowana in this pond one day. But everybody else going into that 1600. I would love to have a pipe, man, but it would destroy everything. Man, amateur pro racing. Just never know. If you get one that's the right size, 6, God, I'm going to have to take out that. Nope, you're good. You never know. If you get one that's like 6 inches and let it grow around, well, I guess it depends on what you keep. I keep all aggressive fish, so I think I could get away with it. I would probably put it inside this pond, though, with those guys. Shamu says, but people buy fish and say, I'll get a bigger tank when it grows, but I personally wait until I already have the tank large enough to house an adult before even buying the fish in the first place. That sounds like what a lot of people say, but this is what I could tell you from keeping these fish for a long time. Just because a fish grow to 2 foot or whatever size it might be, it could take years. Just like the dovite, it could get to 27 inches, but it could take up to 10 years for that. Why wait that long? My doe, my line fishing is 75 gallon. I've had that fish for over a year, and it's still this big. So just because it says you read that a fish gets to a certain size, don't think that it's going to happen overnight. It could take 5 to 10 years for that fish to get to its full potential. So I would never tell somebody wait 5 years until you know what I mean? So, to each their own, but don't allow what you're reading online to scare you, and don't allow a lot of the people that, give you their input to scare you, because the thing is, you don't know if it's going to grow to full potential. I mean, it could die before then. You could move and get rid of it before then. Some fish grow faster than others, and learn what those fish are. Like, a red-tailed catfish is going to grow like this. Tiger shovelnose, grow like this. Pacu, grow like this. I have a Jack Dempsey that I've been waiting. It could grow up to 9 inches. This thing is like this big. And it's been in this tank down there for almost a year. I have Dovite Feste fried hybrids that's still this big, and that I've had for over 11 months. So it's no guarantee that it's going to get to its fullest potential. It's no guarantee that it's going to grow that fast. So don't put yourself on hold because you reading online that this fish needs 1,000 gallons. You don't need to put a fish this big into a 1,000-gallon aquarium. You need to start it off. You could grow with the fish. That's just my opinion. All right, I'm a little behind. The max size of fish I plan is not bigger than 12 inches. Yeah, 12 inches is definitely a big fish. Yeah, y'all, hey, amateur pro racing, y'all definitely adding to my collection for sure. You've gotten totally surprised with how fast some fish grow. Some fish will grow fast, bro. Like, some fish do grow fast, but all of them don't. All of them don't. Some fish are extremely slow growers. Extremely slow growers. Arowana grow fast, but experience and maybe talking to some people about which fish grow fast teaches you that. You can learn from them. But don't just assume that every fish you get is just going to grow hella fast. It's not. It's really not. I wish that was the case. I mean, that's why I got that. That's why I bought that giant gourami, because the one that I bought, it's taking hella long for it to grow. I've been waiting for that thing to get to that size for almost a year now. So, some grow fast, some grow slow. I missed some comments. Where's the update video on the build? Sinclair, I've already answered that question. That shit's on hold. It ain't nothing going on with that build. You guys, it's gonna be some time. A huge saltwater tank full of tangs is a dream of mine. Shamu. You gotta be careful mixing tangs. Some tangs don't get along. Matter of fact, a lot of tangs don't get along. That's a dream. That would be a dream of mine too. I also want a tank full of wrasse. Different wrasse fish. I mean, the thing I love about wrasses is that they totally transform. If you look at the dragon wrasse, look totally different than it does when it's full grown. The red-breasted wrasse look totally different when it's full grown. There's so many different wrasse that start off one way and completely transform when they're full grown. But those also grow extremely slow too. LJ, what is your favorite type of clownfish? The orange mocha storms and the bullet hole clownfish are my favorites. Also like the golden nugget. The golden nugget when they turn gold, but when they're just like white and maroon, it takes a long time for them to turn gold. Robert Manning, do you like the live better? No editing in an instant. Rob, I do like the live better, Rob. I do like the live better. I feel like that y'all are able to get a more of a feel of my personality, who I am, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It's more of the here and now. Y'all ask the questions, I answer the questions. I get to ask y'all personally some questions. Y'all get to give me the feedback. So I really like the live a lot more. It's a lot more engaging. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more easy. But, I don't get a lot of views because I don't get to just schedule the time. But this is legit, man. This is legit. I love being able to interact with y'all. You know what I mean? Like I said many times, like this is like me. I feel like I'm talking to an old school partner right now. I don't care if I fuck up. I don't care if you know what I'm saying? I don't need no editing. You know what I mean? So it's a lot more fun for me. A lot better. Thank you, Pooh Bear. I appreciate you. Reezy, I'm in the process of starting a 60-gallon saltwater tank. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What you gonna throw in it? Mike, new bucket list fish for me. Bro, I can't even pronounce that. I don't even know what that is. Sinclair, should I need an excuse to get a bigger tank? Or the wife will kill me. Already got 375 tanks and want to build a fort. Tell her that you need to add all of the fish from those 375s into that 400 to 500 gallon. And then you got 3 other tanks that you might end up needing for grow outs. But just so you just have one big tank. You don't need the 375s. Just get that one big one, that one centerpiece big one. That's the way that you get, and that's the way you get that in the door. Guys, I game honestly, since I've been in the hobby, they say most of the time fish will not grow. I remember what they called it. Stunting their growth. Sometimes if you put a fish in a tank that's too small, you could stunt its growth. You can speed up a fish growth by putting a small fish in an extra large aquarium. It will grow fast. It will reach its full potential probably within a year. But usually that's when you have these wet pets, when you have these fish that's in a tank by itself. You'll see it grow very fast. But I'm not into having these, I don't want to say I'm not into having wet pets. I love wet pets, but all my fish are wet pets. But I'm not into having one fish in one tank in solitary confinement. I feel like that's solitary confinement. You add things in there. You add some tank mates if you can. Some fish do need to, I don't even want to say some fish need to be by themselves because in the wild they're not by themselves. So I believe that it's all about selecting the tank mates appropriately and accurately. So I've never been one of those kind of people. When I started off in the hobby, everybody was criticizing and talking a lot of shit about me having my Dovi in a community tank. Oh, that's negligent. All this, that. The thing is, these Dovi are not by themselves in the wild. And from me keeping Dovi for the past 12 years, I've always kept Dovi in community settings. It's just about having the right tank mates. You can't put certain fish in a tank with the Dovi. It's going to kill it. You can't put certain fish in a tank with a buddy call fry. They're going to kill them. So it's about educating yourself, finding the right selection, and then you can put them together. That's just from my experience, and I could only go off my experience though. What's up, S3? Appreciate you for tapping in. And the notifications wouldn't have helped you only because I didn't notify anybody when I was going live. I kind of mentioned it. I kind of mentioned quickly. I said, who wanted to go live tonight. I was thinking about doing it again, and before I even read the comments, I just went live again. As I said already, this is fun as hell to me. I love talking with y'all. I love engaging with y'all. I love the feedback, and this is more personal for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just going off the cuff. We've been doing this for an hour, 160 minutes. That's a long time. We've been getting after it. My phone keep telling me that's about to die, so I'm gonna have to get off in a minute. But going off the cuff. We started off with the topic of how everybody got into the hobby. And an hour and 160 minutes later, here we are, still going at it. So I appreciate you all. Y'all are like, to me, y'all are probably the best supporters a person could have, because I haven't received any shade. I haven't received any, we've been talking this whole time. I done finished my cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? This is a big cup. Finished my cup of coffee, second live, and we already going at it, 2 hours and 20 minutes. That says a lot. That says a lot. And I couldn't do it without y'all. I would have, if y'all wasn't interacting, y'all wasn't hitting me with these questions and giving me feedback and talking to me, we would have been hopped off. You know what I mean? So thank you, big thank you to y'all. And like I said already, we gonna do this often. I might do it every day. I might do it once every day if I can. If I can. All right, let me get to some of these comments. Got to make sure let me see. My electric blue Jack Dempsey I've had since 1 inch for 2 years. The Reaper. Yeah, hey, Reaper, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And let me know if my mic start going dead. I got a second one right here. But that is exactly what I'm talking about, man. The electric blue Jack Dempsey is one slow growing fish. I still regret, and this is the reason why I don't pass up a good deal when it comes to fish. I know a lot of people wonder, like, why you keep buying so many fish? Why you keep buying so many fish? This is the reason why I keep buying so many fish. There's fish that I still regret to this day that I didn't buy when I seen them because I thought I would see it again later. I remember this electric blue Jack Dempsey about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I seen this at King's Aquarium in San Jose. That thing was like 6, 7 inches. The biggest I've ever seen in person. Beautiful. She was selling for $200. I'm like, man, I'm not about to pay $200 for this Jack Dempsey. Like, I know I could get one cheaper. I've never seen a Jack Dempsey that big in person ever since. I haven't seen one cheaper, haven't seen another one that size. At this point, if I seen a 6-inch Jack Dempsey, electric blue, I would probably spend $300 on it right now. Even if I don't have nowhere to put it, I'm buying it. I'm going to find somewhere to put it. I'm going to move some fish around. I'm going to find somewhere to put it. So that's why when I see a fish like that saddleback grouper that I couldn't say no to, because I've only seen 2 ever in my life. I've only seen 2, and I go from pet stores all the way up from Woodland all the way down to down near Monterey. I'm going to pet stores all up and down the coast, all up and down the Bay Area, all up and down Cali, and I've never seen one. So, like I said, sometimes, for me, I'm not passing up something like that again. If I see a beautiful piece of rock, if I see some good aquascaping materials, if I see a beautiful rock, I will buy it. Even if I don't have an aquarium for it, I'm going to buy it. You know why? Because I passed up some rock work. I passed up some driftwood that looked amazing, that would look amazing as a centerpiece in anybody's aquarium. And I said, I'll find another piece like that. And I don't. You don't find it. You do not find it again. So if you find yourself at the crossroads of you wanting to buy a fish, buying some decor, buying some kind of aquascape materials, you see a good ass deal on an aquarium, whatever it may be, I suggest that you go ahead and just get it now, and you'll figure it out later. That's my opinion. So I definitely missed. Is what aggressive? I think I'm gonna get a mantis shrimp for the saltwater tank. Rob, Yeah, man, I wanted to get one of those too, but you got to have an isolated tank for that fish. I mean, for that shrimp. I definitely wanted to get one. The peacock mantis shrimp is so sick, so sick. Already, I like the live too. I appreciate you, Rob. Thank you very much. See, Shamu, and in those setups with dozens of tanks together, they seem to be doing pretty good. Must be a very specific process or something. It's definitely a specific process. I'm gonna give you an example. Like the Sohao tang is one of the most aggressive tangs. You would have to put that in last. Um, I had in my 37 gallon, I had my sailfin tang. That's the least aggressive. Then I had my purple tang, and then I had my gem tang. The gem tang was my crown jewel. It was my crown jewel. You could go back, look at the video. I'm holding a little diamond with the gem tang in there. I was so happy to get this tang. I bought it. This tang was riddled with ick. I mean, I've never seen ick so bad on a fish ever. And I spent $350 on this fish. So I had to do everything possible to bring this thing back to health, which I did. It took a long time to get rid of the ick. A long time. I mean, like a month. Had it quarantined, kept treating, kept changing water, treatment again, do the little cycle, change the water, treatment again. I got it back to health. So I had all three of those tangs inside the aquarium. The purple tang was the most dominant. Now, if I would have put my clown tang, matter of fact, I did put the clown tang in there. It got beat up. Now, if you want to put the clown tang in there and you want to put like the Sohao tang in there, the Sohao tang is going to fight with the other tang, with the clown tang. The hippo tang is definitely aggressive as well. So you definitely got to be cautious and put your fish in the right order. The most aggressive need to go last. The least aggressive got to go first. And you got to do some research to make sure that you put the least aggressive or know what the least aggressive is as you put your tangs in. And that damn near goes with any fish. You never want to put an aggressive fish in your aquarium first because any fish that you put in after that is going to be problems. It's always going to be problems. So research is the main factor in any part of fish keeping. All right, Sinclair, you live in Texas and would love to convert the garage, but it's too hot and too cold. Sinclair, we deal with the same thing here. In the summer, it's hella hot. In the winter, it's hella cold. So what I would suggest is that you find you a good split. First of all, make sure your shit's insulated. Insulate the garage door. And then what you do is you get you a split system. With that split system AC unit, when I say make sure that it has a heater and it has the AC unit. If you do that, when it's cold outside, you cut on the heater. When it's warm outside, cut on the AC. I guarantee that will help you. It's a little bit more money. It's a little bit more money, like 4,000 or 5,000. Probably a little bit more because you got to get the installation. But that's my best suggestion. You could do it. I got to do it. I still got to get one into this garage. I need to insulate the roof, and then I've already insulated the door, but I want to insulate the roof. I got the dehumidifier running. I got it tapped in to where it always runs to the sink, but I'm having the same issue like you. When it's hot in here. When it's cold in here. The only difference is that I have one duct coming into this unit that is running from the central unit of the house. So basically I could put some cooling in here and I could put some heating in here. Gerald, I definitely appreciate you watching and you at least commenting on this live, bro. So, this is your first comment. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for sticking around with me this whole time, all these years, watching my ups and downs, my failures, my successes. And, man, I really appreciate it. You could definitely comment more, and we're going to do these lives more. So it's a little bit easier, a little bit better, and it's definitely like the here and now. And that's what I appreciate about this live stream, is that we get to the questions, we talk right now. Much better than me dropping a comment or y'all dropping a comment and then me having to respond and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. LJ, I got my very first protein skimmer and I got a Fluval protein skimmer PS1 and I got it on my 40-gallon breeder. I just started in the hobby at the end of the year last year with the 10-gallon. Congrats, man. That's definitely an upgrade, definitely a step up, and I can't wait to hear what you about to get next. I know that 40-gallon is also a pit stop. That's gonna end up turning into your grow out. I already know. Right now, your 10-gallon probably is your quarantine. All right, all right. Sinclair, I like the variety of fish. I'm always blown away by seeing tiny fish in a 200-gallon. You know, it is something highly therapeutic about seeing a 200-gallon with a whole bunch of schooling fish. I try to do that in my 20-gallon. Like I love seeing my tetra school and swimming back around and things like that. So I could only imagine seeing a very large aquarium with those type of fish in it. Something very therapeutic about that. Maybe I might do something like that in the future. Once I get all these tanks emptied out and put into the 1600-gallon, you know, 150 is going to be for the discus, 125 for the peacocks. You know, maybe I'll turn one of these into something like that. Highly planted, something like that. LJ, love your channel and it's very educational and I would like to get a predator tank too one day like how you have it, especially with the zebra moray eel. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that, LJ. So as you might know, I no longer have my zebra moray eel. I lost that in the apartment. My triggers as well as my angelfish, you know, man, they did them bad. They did them bad. They ate his tail alive, man. They just was eating at his tail, and that stress alone killed him. So from learning that, I'm not putting any more triggers with my eels, or definitely not the stingray. I'm not putting no more triggers with my eels. There's something else. There's really something else. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about the angelfish because I did see the angelfish doing the same thing, but I feel like they were doing it because it was already at the point to where it was raw. But the triggers are always going to be separate. The triggers are something else. It gets below freezing, summer gets over 100. Sinclair, I know you can figure it out, man. Like I said, just get you that good system if you can, and you'll be good. Heating in the winter, cooling in the summer. Gerald, I'm in Florida, by the way. We can literally catch just about everything in the hobby here now. It's crazy years of people releasing fish. You know, I watch a lot of the YouTubers out of Florida. I used to watch Zach Ketchum. I used to watch Walt Raw Fishing, Paul Cafaro, Predatory Fins. So I've definitely seen how they go down. Nick Bingo, you know, these are kids, but you know, again, you can still learn something from somebody young. You don't always have to watch somebody older. You know, I learned things from younger and older generations. But one thing I did take from their videos is that they go down to the canals and they just, like you said, they just catch everything. And then I found out that y'all have lionfish that's an invasive species. Y'all have the snakeheads that's pretty cool. You know, y'all have Mayan cichlids in y'all waters. Y'all have jaguar like, man, that's amazing. That's amazing that you could just go down and just catch whatever and throw it in your saltwater aquarium. I'm spending top dollar on these fish, and y'all could just go and catch them. So if I was in Florida, I would have an alligator. 100%, I would have a caiman. I cannot believe y'all are able to keep caiman out there. I would love to own a caiman. Snapping turtle, I would have a snapping turtle. I would love a snapping turtle. So, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Hong. I'm not even going to read this comment. Sam, what's going on? Just wanted to hop in here and say I genuinely appreciate your comment. It's always nice knowing I have a TSC video to look forward to each day. I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for joining. And I try to do my best to make sure that I drop a video every day. It's not always easy, especially when I'm busy. Today we got to it. I was able to go to work. I was able to post a video today, and we got this live stream. We've been going on an hour. Well, shit, I keep saying an hour. 175 minutes on this live stream. So I definitely appreciate everybody that's tapped in with me. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Show that good support. Trying to get to that 20K. We've been trying to get to 20K for some months. I might get there probably before the 4th of July next year. But yeah, we're going to get there eventually. I would love to get an emperor angelfish. Me too. That's why I don't have any more quarantine saltwater tanks. I had the emperor angelfish and I had the queen angelfish. The queen angelfish is like the one that I really want. That's the epitome of the angelfish that I always want to keep. The queen angel. I love the way the queen angel looked. The emperor is cool as well. And I had both of them. And because this garage gets so hot, I lost both of them. So it is what it is. I'm definitely going to get some when I can. When I start back up the quarantine tanks, probably when the fish that's in quarantine come out, maybe I'll turn the freshwater quarantine to saltwater quarantine, and then I could go ahead and get me some more angelfish. LJ, also, do you think corals are worth it or not because how hard they are to take care of? LJ, so I believe that corals are 100% worth it. You know, it's not really harder. It's just an extra step. You know, the thing that I didn't like to do mostly when I was keeping corals was dosing my aquarium. You know, you constantly got to dose the magnesium, iodine, calcium. Oh. There's a lot of things that you need to dose to make sure your corals live and thrive. But I'm getting back into it. I have to get back into it. I think corals are like eye candy. You know what I mean? It's the candy of the saltwater hobby. You know, it's just so beautiful up under the lights. And if you have a tank that don't have predators, I believe that you should have corals. The only reason why I don't have corals is because I have predator fish in every saltwater tank I have. You can't have eels. You can't have tangs. You can't have foxface rabbitfish. You can't have. It's a lot of fish that you can't have with corals. So I have from the 75 gallon in the house to the 37 gallon to the 125 to the 225. They're all predator fish. So I can't have corals in those tanks. But once I get those eels out of that 37 gallon, I'm adding some corals into that tank. It's definitely worth it. LJ, I hate when most people in pet stores and they give you false information. I hate that too. I hate when you go into the pet store, when you go into like a PetSmart or Petco, and you say you want a fish, and they be like, what size tank is he going in? Man, if you don't do your damn job, like if I tell you, like I could lie. I could say it's going into 1,000 gallon. You're going to be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't even, I hate that. I hate that shit. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot because it's like as soon as you tell them, it's just like, okay, and that be it. Mike, have a good one. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night. But yeah, I hate that shit. I hate that. That's always been something that I didn't like. Guys, I gave my facts. Get it while it's there. Don't wait because you might not see it again. I agree. But I will say this though. You also do have to have some restraint. It's some that you just got that you can't say no to, and then there's some that you gotta just have some restraint. I've seen some beautiful angelfish, the queen angelfish that I really want, and I didn't buy them. It was a golden puffer years ago that I wanted, and I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. It was $350. I didn't buy it. I thought that I would see another one, probably about this big, and I wish I would have bought it. And I wish I would have bought it. I've never seen a golden puffer in the store ever since, and that was years ago. LJ, what is your favorite tang besides the royal blue tang, aka Dory? Just curious and love the live. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. My favorite tang is a Sohao tang. Sohao tang, man. I love the Sohao tang. I had one inside of my 225 gallon when I moved here. It was one of the fish I lost. And then and then the gem tang. Then a gem tang. I would love to have another gem tang. They're just so expensive. $500 now. They were $350 when I bought it. And at the time, that was like the most expensive fish that I bought. I've never bought a $500 fish. Nothing that I bought cost that much money. So it's not that, it's just at this point, I feel like I could spend that money on something else. But I definitely want to have at some point another gem tang. And I got to have a Sohao tang. Sohao tangs are like $200. It's not that bad. It's just one of the harder tangs to keep. It's definitely one of the harder tangs to keep. Great live, bro. Looking forward to the next one. I remember a couple weeks ago you were saying you didn't know if YouTube was worth it. I'm glad you stuck around. I've learned a lot from your videos. Patrick. So, no, I never said YouTube wasn't worth it. I think a lot of people was misinformed with that video. It was just about me saying that it's hard and people expect for everything to just happen rapidly like this. I would get a ton of people saying, hey, what's going on with this? When are you going to do this? You should do this. You should do this. I got a whole house and a family to take care of. I got my own business. And the thing about this business is that it costs money to make money. Like, I just did a job just the other day and I had to spend $1,000 on the job just to make what I was going to make. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like in every new job that I get is like that. Unless it's one of those jobs where I'm just going out and do some kind of like maintenance or something like that. But a lot of the time, I have to spend money to make the money that I'm going to make. So I always have to have that cushion. You get what I'm saying? So I can't just count my money like how some people, you get paid, you spend this on bills and then you got this left over. It's not like that for me. It's not like that. I get paid for the job. I got this money. But I know that as the jobs come through, I'm going to have to spend some more of this money to make some more money. So it's different. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't change it for nothing. Before I got in the air fighting. Man. Whoosh. If y'all seen that, before I started my business, I was a facility manager at a semiconductor facility for 7.5 years. So the same things that I was doing for that company, I started my own business and I started getting paid 3 times, if not 4 times the amount that I was getting paid at the company to do the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I would not change this for the world, but it's definitely stressful at times. And it prevents me from doing a lot of things, Once I get to the point to where I bought all my fish, right? When I finally have things settled and I'm not really still trying to add some fish here, add some fish there, and things like that, it might be a little bit more slower and, I'll have more money to do other things. But I guess what I was trying to say was that, understand that a lot of people drop out the hobby, drop out of YouTube because of the hate comments and the things that makes it harder for them. I don't quit. You know what I mean? Some of y'all might know. I've been incarcerated a few times and, it taught me some patience and it allowed me to basically learn that you have to go through the bullshit to get to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing comes overnight. Everything in life is a struggle and you struggle through it to get to it. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been a quitter. You know what I'm saying? I've been through so much shit in life, things that probably shouldn't even be talked about on this live. But what I'm saying is that I understand the process. And a lot of people don't understand the process. They want the instant gratification, and it don't work like that. Best believe that the work that I put in, the work that people put in, you get it back. You get it back. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that shit 1,000% You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect things to happen overnight, but I was just trying to shine a light on, we got to do better. Like I say, I'm a consumer of YouTube. I love and support the channels that I watch. You know what I'm saying? So we got to hit that like button for them. We got to comment. We got to encourage them so they don't disappear like some of the other channels that have. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've named some. Off the Deep End Aquatics, IFG, Kings and Queens Cichlids, Andy Woods is disappearing, Guapatel Mail. You know what I'm saying? That's just 5 people. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that I've watched over the years that's not here anymore. And that's not to try to say it's our fault, but again, that encouragement, that support will make a motherfucker stay around a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I was getting at in that video. I just want us to do our part and try to make sure that we are supportive to the people that we watch so they don't disappear. I would hate for Aquarium Domain to stop making videos. Y'all don't even know who he is. Y'all really should. Like I said, I've said it before, if y'all are just watching and y'all want to see my 1,600 gallon build, go check out Aquarium Domain. Go check out his channel. He's doing a 4,500 gallon pond right now, or 4,500 gallon plywood build right now. And I guarantee you would not regret subscribing to his channel and getting and jumping in the rabbit hole. He has a ton of shit that he does. And like I said, I support. I watch myself. All right, so I definitely let a lot of these comments just go. My bad. Let me see. Patrick, great video, great live video, bro. Looking forward to the next one. Okay, I appreciate how honest you are with your success and failures. Is there any success that you've had recently in your hobby that you thought was going to fail? Any success in the hobby recently that I thought was going to fail? Damn, that's a good question, bro. That's a damn good question. I guess, well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really do it if I thought it was going to fail. I have had some surprises, like with me moving my blue line grouper in this aquarium. I mean, it's small, you know what I'm saying? But like me moving my blue line grouper into the 225, I was nervous about that because, matter of fact, you see him swimming around right there. That's my blue line grouper. So I moved the blue line grouper into the 225. I was uncertain about that, but I moved him over there because he kept picking on the saddleback grouper. He destroyed my panther grouper. Since then, I got the panther grouper and the saddleback grouper, both in the 125. They're doing perfectly fine. So I wasn't sure whether or not that was going to actually work out, which it did. I'm happy about that. But as far as just any successes recently, I don't really know if that could be called a success, but I'm happy that it worked out. El Amigo, hi. Happy, man, what's going on? Appreciate you. Shamu, with red-tailed sharks, it don't matter if you put them last. As soon as I introduce them to the established tank, they will be like, everyone cave in here is mine. Is that right? Okay, well, you got to be careful with the red-tailed sharks then. Would you ever have a black tip reef shark tank? LJ. No, I would not. Do you know that black tip reef sharks get 5 foot? If you didn't know, they get 5 foot. So, what size tank is appropriate for that? Do you think, LJ? I'll tell you what I think will be appropriate size for a 5 foot shark. 20,000 gallons plus. I think that's the only way to successfully keep a black tip reef shark. Now, what I will have, and what I do plan on getting, is a horn shark. A horn shark. I plan on getting a horn shark when I build this aquarium out. They don't quite need something so large, I always wanted a black tip reef shark when I first seen them, you know. I was like, man, I need something like that. But after doing my research, because research is everything in this hobby, you know, they get 5 foot. And to keep it the right way, you definitely need to make sure that you have something that's adequate for it. And you don't want to go minimum tank size, you know, the right tank size. So it could thrive. So you have, so it could be, and have plenty of enrichment. You know what I mean? Boondocks, love the channel and advice you give. Keep it up. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Sinclair, yeah, I'm familiar with those split units. I'm going to have to work on it. I want to build some big ass tanks. I feel you. What size? I feel you. I feel you. So what other size tanks you want to build? What size? What's the max size tank that you want to get? How many gallons? Christopher, great channel, man. Glad I found it. Learned a lot. Thank you, Christopher. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that support. If y'all just coming through, please hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and please hit that like button. Cool Bear, how you doing? Are you feeling good tonight? I appreciate you. I'm glad you caught this live. Yo, man, love the videos. Keep up the hard work. I would love to see videos of how to start a reef tank similar to the 20-gallon videos from the old apartment. Man, you've been around for a while. I appreciate you. I did. You don't remember the 37-gallon? The 37-gallon was like one of my first videos on how to start, with the corals. It's old school. I could do it when I start up the corals again. I'm 100% gonna do a video on how to do it. I definitely plan on doing that again. Yeti loves watching the Silver Dollar School. It's nothing like watching a nice community fish, and I bet you those silver dollars are getting big too. Yeah, I could imagine that would be a nice sight to see. LJ, love all your tanks and your vids and how often you be mixing your salt for your saltwater aquariums. So what I do is I have 125 gallons over there, 125 gallon tank. So basically, whenever I run it out, whenever I run out all that water, I just make a new batch. Just make a new batch of salt water, leave it sitting there. It's enough water, that 125 gallons is enough to do a water change on the 225, then 125, and depending on how long I took to do that 75 gallon, on a 75 gallon too. Right now it's probably like half full, and I still need to do a water change on the 125 now, the 37, but I do water, since my tanks are basically low stock, I do water changes on them probably. Somebody that's really in the saltwater, they're probably gonna be like, man, that's not often enough. I probably do it like once a month. I went 3 months, man. I went 3 months before I did a water change on a 75 gallon in the house. Way too long. Who here know they are cichlids? Okay. My bad. S3 Aquatics, my first tank was a turtle tank. I was looking up how to make a above the tank basking platform and stumbled on your channel. Been learning since. We appreciate all the DIY tips and tricks. I appreciate you, S3 Aquatics. I'm glad that I was able to show you how to do that. Are you still using that at above the tank sump, or at above the tank for your turtle tank, or did you switch it up? That was definitely one of my best builds, even though it was a little, but it definitely was one of my best builds. That video kind of went a little viral, and I had a lot of people that was thankful for that above the tank for your basking platform. Shamu Aquariums. The triggers would try and fight when I was snorkeling in Hawaii. And have you ever seen a Titan trigger when you were snorkeling in Hawaii? I hear the Titan triggers are kind of big in a while, like 4 foot. Wow, that's crazy. Rest in peace, you're ill, bro. Thank you, man. That sucked. That was terrible. I felt really bad about that. My zebra eel, zeal, they're like gentle giants. They're like gentle giants. They get like 5 foot, but they're not aggressive at all. Amazing eels to have. Sinclair, I have some Geophagus variety with some silver dollars, but only in the 75 for now. LJ, how did you learn to make your own stuff like a pro and spending less money on official stuff? That's a great question. I'll repeat that question. LJ said, how did you learn to make your own stuff like a pro and spending less money on official stuff? Well, a lot of research. A lot of research, LJ. So I started off watching King of DIY. Name speaks for itself. Joey, King of DIY. I watched him make the above the tank sumps for his freshwater. Then I was watching Predatory Fins. And if you remember, Predatory Fins had that 6,000 gallon, or matter of fact, 5,500 gallon that Paul Cafaro has now, saltwater. And they had that big above the tank sump, full of live rock, full of different types of media, all that. So I'm like, I could do that on a lower scale. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have the big sump or all of that, and all of that. The sump is nice. Don't get me wrong. The sump is nice, but they didn't have all of that. They had a big ass above the tank sump. They finally got a skimmer, and prior to that, I was already doing a hang on the back filter. So I started off with my hang on the back refugium, my skimmer, my expensive ass lights. That's how I started off with my 20-gallon aquarium. All a hang on the back refugium is basically a hang on the back filter with a different media on the inside. You have your refugium light, you have your macroalgae, you have that kind of stuff. It's the same deal. So basically, I just switched it up. I just took that narrative and I put that in the above the tank sumps, and it worked out the same way. So once you have an understanding of how these filters work, you can find a cheaper way of filtering your aquarium. You don't have to buy the same thing or buy the things that they're saying that you have to buy. Give you a prime example. You have a canister filter, and it's basically big ass sponge filter. You have a little bit of media in there, a little bit of media. But if you have a freshwater aquarium, you could use lava rock for your media. If you need a sponge, you could go buy pot scrubbers. You could buy, body scrubbers from the Dollar Tree. It's a whole lot of different ways to get the same results if you go ahead and go a cheaper route. They just charge you a lot more money because it's a certain name on the package. So again, once you have an idea of sucking out water, going through the media, going back into your aquarium, you understand the filtration and you can make it as cheap as you want it. Simple as that. Simple as that. So research is everything. I always say research is king here, king or queen here. And you just make sure that you have a real understanding of what it is that you're trying to achieve. LJ, was I afraid of crabbing the lionfish because of the venomous fins? Was I afraid of? I didn't crab it. I never grabbed a lionfish. But I do get worried about, when you grab it with a net. Sometimes, if the spines get caught in the net, it might become a problem. So, a lot of times, you can use like a bowl or something, a big bowl, to scoop your lionfish out from one place to the next place. Just got to be careful. But at first, I was definitely nervous about cleaning my saltwater aquariums with that lionfish. And I'm still kind of nervous about that, especially this big boy. Just got to make sure he stay away, but he doesn't try to bother me when I'm cleaning it. Damn, way down there, huh? Can I be Racer? I don't know what you asking. You just want me to say your name? How you doing, Racer? Thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate you watching. Shit, we got a 6,000 gallon above ground pool that I've seen people convert for fish. I would put koi in there. Man, if I had a 6,000 gallon above ground pool, I'm putting, man, I'm about to make that into a big ass community tank. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I would do with that. I wouldn't put koi in there. Not me. Not me. Peacocks, bass, all that. Maybe not bass because once you do, then you can't put the real predators. So I would figure out a good selection, but definitely not koi. Shamu, I discovered your channel a few days ago when I saw your What Happened to Our Discus video. I appreciate you, Shamu. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to find the content. That's right. Still using that above the tank for your turtles. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. I thank you for sending people to my channel. Tons of yellow tanks and different types. Let me get to the bottom. What glass magnet cleaner do I use? MagnaFlow. I feel like the MagnaFloat is the best one. That way, if it drops off, you get it back. They're the most expensive. But I think the MagnaFloat is definitely the best glass magnet. The glass cleaner. HGYPDNMC. Hey, what's going on?